Welcome to Odd Boys, everyone. I'm former gravedigger Nathan Barnett from spooky old New England, and this is my co-host, Tinfoil Tom.
I'm here, future grave filler.
For future dead man.
Future dead man. This is it. Pretty soon, I'm just gonna be bones and dust.
Getting close.
Getting
Yeah,
close.
you're halfway there, aren't you? You're middle aged now, I'd say, right?
I'm officially. Well, what is middle age now?
I don't
Just
know. I
40?
will say I have a very big complaint about what most people consider middle age. Since I've been little, think middle age is 50 years old. That's half of 100. And
I
everyone
think that
we don't know on this past 78. Nah, there's a lot of 100-year-olds out there, so I say 50.
But it's also our perception of like what an adult is. I think is because I've seen so many videos about this, where we like what we do as us as adults right now, like me
Mhm.
and you and Jamie and like our group of friends.
Producer
Some of
Jamie, who gets a lot of sleep, so
oh
he's
yeah,
gonna live
oh yeah,
forever.
where is Jamie right now? I
Oh,
haven't.
you see, looking young as ever because he's always snoozing.
He's supposed to be producing the show. How is he
Yeah,
even
well,
doing that?
it's
How is he producing
Thanksgiving,
it?
Black Friday. He ate a lot of turkey, probably. He needs his
He's
rest.
British. They don't celebrate the holiday over there.
Oh,
And
he
they
had
don't
a lot of
celebrate.
crumpets, a lot of Sunday roasts. He's tired.
I actually heard that he was vaping beans now.
Vaping, vaping beans. On
Yep.
his beans on toast, he just vapes them all.
Well, you get a more instantaneous bean hit
Oh, you
if
got a
you like
hit. Yeah, yeah.
you make a well, it's like it's like crack cocaine. You like put it in a spoon and
New tip from
wait,
Jingle
what?
Balls in-app.
Jingle balls. And
Jingle
that,
balls.
whoa, my
Oh,
camera just did a dramatic zoom.
wow,
I
that was real.
so
That was
excited.
good. I wish that could happen on every donation. You should do that.
I'll zoom in every time someone donates. Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Annette, for donating direct.
Thank you, Yanep. Thank you. We have I decided I took executive decision that we have a snack goal of $100 every stream. We're streaming once a week. That means that me, you, and Jamie, after the fees and whatever, we get like $30 each. With that pays for our coffee and our snacks
Mhm.
for all of the
So
research that we do.
that's not bad. Well, yeah. For the show, then we would technically the three of us would each get $10 per hour if we stream for 3 hours, which is
Which
pretty
is
good.
pretty good. Thank you, Yanep.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
would make for the whole week.
That well, I was telling
$33.
I was telling you earlier that thus far, and everybody can you can support if you want. This is to be transparent. With our memberships on YouTube, I think we're set to earn on via YouTube, not Patreon or Ko-fi, 64 entire dollars next month.
Ooh, we're getting up there to 69.
What are you gonna do with your $64? You could buy a video game.
If someone gives $15 tonight, then technically we'll each get 69 because we
On
get five
YouTube,
each.
on the YouTube side.
Oh, on YouTube. Well, if we
That
give
was
a
like the
$5
YouTube
super,
revenue.
how we get $15 super chat tonight, or 3 people give $5, or if we get like a bunch of YouTube members, maybe we'll be hitting $69. What I will be doing with my money, probably buying Katie a Christmas present, or just lumping it into bills. You know, the usual,
Yeah.
or using it for ghost hunting materials to find the truth.
Oh yeah, when are you moving here? When are we doing the live ghost hunting? When is the official Nathan is going to be in the spooky Pacific Northwest so that we can do live investigations? When is this happening? When are you filming the dad movie, by the way?
That's part of my answer I was going to give you. I started some major steps today towards making the dad movie, organizing producer, cameraman. I was on the phone all day with a lot of people, actresses. That's all I'll say. And getting everyone organized for the date. And it looks like possibly we'll be shooting the second half of February because there's so many people I need to get involved to be on the same page at the same time, available, dedicate this 2-week period to making this thing with me. And it seems like no one's available now, obviously. Not people to come back to LA.
No, Jamie and I are
mid-January.
Jamie and I are available.
Okay, well, me, Tom, and Jamie can make the dad movie on our own tonight. We're doing it tonight,
Yeah.
everyone.
I've got a cell phone.
Otherwise, we'll do it in mid-February. So that would push me moving because we were trying to maybe move for February, but it's probably too much of a rush. Holy crap, Annette just gave $20 on YouTube. Looks like we are possibly
Let's
getting-
go! Oh, thank you. We've earned I think we're set to earn $69 each. Now, see, Now we're talking. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate all of the memberships, all the donations. Uh, it helps keep the show going. I will say, um, producer Jamie has been making the shorts, and I've been posting them, and we've tried to stagger them so that they've been going up like one a day or two a day, and we've actually seen a good amount of growth through the shorts. So I think as long as we keep doing what we're doing,
Have our
uh,
subs gone up?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We've gained quite a few subs just from the
I
shorts. I
believe
think that
we've
that's
gained from the last week. We've gained, I think. Oh, there you go. Another.
Thank you,
Samba!
Samba.
Thank you.
Inep, thank you again. You've given a lot tonight. And thank you, Samba, for always supporting. For
We
real.
gained, I believe, about 40-ish subs in the last week or
Ooh,
so from
the
the
shorts, yeah.
shorts that have happened. So because
if we're going up and not down, that's already a positive. If we're even just staying the same, that's
Exactly.
a positive.
yeah.
I think
That's
that's
cool.
that's the whole thing with Odd Boys is so, and we've talked about this many times. I think Jamie, Jamie, you and I, our common bond of this show is that we're all huge fans of Coast to Coast AM. I think that's the common, that's the common thread here is that we're all
Yep.
fans of Coast to Coast AM. And there's not really any shows like there still is a Coast to Coast AM, but George Norrie's not the same thing as Art Bell. And these stories are really fun to talk about. And we're mixing current day with classic mystery and conspiracy stuff. So yeah, as long as that number keeps going up and we're able to do this, um, it's odd boys for life,
That's
baby.
right. Boys for life forever. Well, we just
That's
gotta
right.
keep doing the show, keep putting out the videos and the shorts, getting calls. I like the longer videos, but I know shorts are what grow channels and get new attention, and then hopefully some of those people will start watching the longer videos. But yeah, we just gotta keep doing it, I think, as we do all our other little hustles and stuff. But this is like sort of a fun project, like my side fun project that
Well, what I was thinking
it's like
is
less stress involved.
once we get a little bit more popular, what I was going to suggest, and I haven't proposed this to Jamie yet either, is that we start selling our used socks to viewers.
Why would anyone want that?
There's a market for it. Jamie, there's a market for this, right? He's asleep. He's asleep.
Why would you?
He's
Why would
asleep.
Jamie know if there's a market for socks, used socks?
I think he's avoiding the question. I think that there's, there is a market for there's a market for anything. You know what I mean? And I think that the sock market is just an untapped market that we have yet to experience.
You know what I think there's a market for?
What's that?
Uh, Wearing flip flops with no socks that are
Mhm.
too small for you.
Like your videos you do with the
Like
guy,
my
the singing
beautiful
man.
singing angel character that I do, where I'm singing all the current Christmas songs. Have you guys all been watching the Nathan channel? I'm putting out 12 songs for Christmas, and my latest is Silent Night. I hope you've all watched and seen my toes busting out of those sandals, dipping into the mud, and as a sing angelic lullabies to the people.
I watched one of them and I felt like it wasn't crazy enough.
I'm trying
I
to not
want
go too crazy because then it's just like, all right, it's not even funny. It's just I'm being annoying. I mean, the thing is, it's supposed to be annoying. I think there's a balance to like how insane they can be. You know what I
I
mean? I'm
I
experimenting with these 12. They're going to be all over the place.
here's what I'm going to suggest to you. For one of them, take my advice and go like these are like
Go psychotic.
these are like 1 through like on the 1 through 10 psychotic scale. This all of these videos that you've put out are like a 4 from what I've saw.
Wow.
I
But what
think you
about
need
the
to go
original song, the original annoying songs? How do you think they are?
the originals are like a 7 because they're like much
Oh,
crazier. I think you need to dial it up to like a 9 and just for one of them just to see how it performs
okay.
and go absolutely psychotic. Like super annoying, super psychotic, like have it be like just in any insane idea you can think of, just put it in the
I'll
video
have
and
to
then
like
have that.
record this in my car out in like a field or something because I can't do. I actually got concerned. There was a woman in this apartment who she posted on like the message board that Katie's always reading because all the drama's on this message board.
Uh-huh.
This lady said, "Oh, sorry for just feeling myself and singing my heart out the other night. I was just feeling good, having a good day. feeling myself, and she kept saying that about how she was singing some song, and people reported her for singing so loudly. They made her, the neighbors got mad, and now she's got like a strike or something from the apartment building. I was like,
She was
what
like
the heck?
she caused a disturbance or something.
Yeah,
Uh,
basically, this person made a complaint against her. So I'm thinking, who is not complaining? I've recorded 4 of these already, screaming in my apartment. Like, how are they not complaining about me? So I'm a
I
little
mean,
nervous. I don't want to get kicked out of here for. I'll just hey, kick me out for my beautiful art. That's what's that? What's not judgment. What's the word when you are hating on prejudice?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
prejudice on artists. And I need to move out of here
Well,
or I'm gonna sue. And then they can't charge me the leaving fee.
well, you're gonna have to go somewhere that they can't find you and bust you then.
Well, so you tell me this isn't annoying enough. This one I actually tried to like sing like gently.
I think it's no, I don't think this is psychotic enough.
So do you want me just to scream louder?
I think it should start. What songs are you planning? What songs are you planning on doing?
You want the list?
Yeah, give me the
And we're
list.
not talking about any of the Odd Boys things, right? We're not on the topics at all right now, but I guess we'll get there eventually. So I did Jingle Bells. I did Frosty. I just did Silent Night. Rudolph is coming next. I've done that one. Then I have 12 Days of Christmas. Trying to do the classics. White Christmas. Santa Claus is coming to town. Holly Jolly Christmas. Then Santa Baby. And then Let It Snow. And then I did Mariah Carey a couple years ago. So that's the 12th. So
Yeah.
Santa Baby, I could maybe make unhinged or have Holly Jolly Christmas. I could really scream that one.
I think that there's a way to I do think there's a way to make this very insane.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't know.
go
It's
all
like
out on one.
it didn't I what see what
They're just
you're
supposed to be annoying. They're bothersome. They're like kids
yeah,
watch
like
them.
I think what you put up is just kind of bothersome, but I think what I need to see from you for one of these videos is a man in a full-blown psychotic episode.
All right, I'll have to talk to you about when I do Holly Jolly Christmas. I think Holly
Like
Jolly can be the
I
lunatic one, like a
I
straight jacket version.
right. I think that people need to question like to actually question your sanity after they watch this.
Well, they're not called insane songs. They're called annoying songs. I think you're wanting to go into like psychopath territory.
Mhm. I think it's time.
Mhm, mhm,
I think that I think that that's what's going to get the views.
Yeah, I guess it can't hurt. They get views on Spotify, which one of them has 45,000 views, which I just didn't even know. I don't even look at that. And I'm earning a little bit of money off those videos. So I figured, well, why not have an album, Christmas album that's timeless and kids can play it for
Timeless.
their friends a
It is
year after year.
It is timeless because everybody stopped their watches and turned the channel off when
Yeah,
that
they
came
threw
on.
they jumped out the window. They couldn't tell time anymore.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Anyway, we should get on to the topics here.
Well, welcome to Odd Boys, everybody. Hello. I didn't
Welcome
really.
an hour into the show.
Oh yeah, we're screaming. Oh yeah, exactly. Let me read the chat. Hello, everybody. Hello, Raspberry. Hello, Yanep.
Aladdin,
Hello, Endrid. Aladdin.
Samba.
Oh yeah, I will put it out there that every 10 YouTube members we get, Nathan has to watch Kona Supin.
Nope.
That's the unofficial sponsor of Odd Boys now is Kona Supin.
That is true.
Every
I do
10
remember hearing that.
Jamie,
Yep.
shut your lips.
Every single 10 YouTube members, Nathan has
Hey.
to listen to his favorite song in the world.
We had to do that last time, and I almost made it out of here. I really don't want to do that now. I had a fever the other day, still recovering. So let's keep it peaceful for me. Thank you very much, everyone.
I like the Christmas tree in your speaking.
Yeah,
peaceful.
that's one of 3. This is my little one. There's 2 in the living room on both sides of the TV. So when you look at the TV, you see 2 big old Christmas trees next to you, left and right. It's great.
It's very.
And there's a little one in
Christmassy.
the bathroom too.
Wow.
So 4 technically, I guess.
You should have one in every room.
That's how I feel. The only room I don't have one in is the kitchen. There's a little dining room area thing that's part of the kitchen. Guess we could put that. Oh, I don't have one in the bedroom either. So I
You're
guess we
miss
could get 2 more.
you're missing a couple of trees. Get them in there.
Yeah, they're
Well,
coming.
we've got some good topics for tonight. Do you want to take us through so all things odd, all things mysterious? Do you want to take us through
Mhm.
your I didn't watch any of the or I didn't check out any of the things that you posted.
Well, so
Uh
I just
do
been
you want
posting
to
these since the last episode, so we got a lot of stuff in here. Some stuff's like true crimey, some stuff's just like newsworthy, like, oh, this is crazy. Like one of them, I don't think we had to talk about, like the dirt bike. I don't know if that matters.
what's wrong with the dirt bike?
I mean, the dirt bike's cool, but like it's not odd. I guess it's odd in a
Yeah,
way.
but it's
Well, that's not
cool.
odd. There's no reason. If it was spontaneous, then maybe. There's one thing I saw the other day. Exorcisms are on the rise in the U.S., which is
What?
interesting. We could talk about that if you want. Kind of
I
far
wonder
down
if
the
that
list. Also, the strange bubbles in the L.A. Ocean.
I
That's
didn't see
odd.
that. But like
Yep.
so Jamie and I had talked about this a few weeks ago that people have been seeing on the east I haven't seen like I haven't looked into what you posted, so I don't know if there's going to be a correlation here. But people have been seeing off the east coast a lot of strange bioluminescent lights and moving figures
Mm.
in the water and
We've talked
apparent
about some of that over the past few episodes.
well, that's like a real thing that there's a lot
Yeah.
of there so there's two different theories, I guess, as to what or three, I guess, if you include bioluminescent creatures. But one is bioluminescent creatures, two is that it's some sort of military experimental craft, and three is that it's that's where the aliens have been hiding. They're underwater because that's like
Yeah, which is a
largely
lot big theory
unexplained.
that a lot of people believe in, and in some of the stories I've heard from the army military people, it lines up with stuff they've seen. Also, it ties into one of our stories we have linked here that we'll obviously be getting to, where I titled it "Huge UFO News." There's a new documentary
It must
or
be big
movie
news if
out.
you title it huge. Did you put it in all caps?
No, I didn't want to be,
Did you put an
I didn't
exclamation
want I
point?
didn't want to alarm you and Jamie too much because I didn't want
Janie,
you
are
to
you
get
alarmed?
scared. I guess
Not
I didn't.
alarmed.
See, it's because I
Not
didn't
al-
use caps. I used
he's not
regular
alarmed. He's
font.
asleep.
I just did a capital H, so he didn't freak out, and that was smart of me because I care for my friends. But this huge UFO news, like I was straight up like, wait, what? What? Like they've apparently there are aliens here. They have the aliens. There have been UFOs. They're reverse engineering. It's all 100% real, and it's all in this new documentary that this guy. It's coming out like now or it just came out. The guy's been on the news talking about these segments. The director of the documentary, and all these like military guys who are in it. They're like, "Yep, there's aliens," and it's like crazy to hear them finally like really saying that. So this YouTube video we watch will see all this
Well,
news breaking.
do you want
Should
to
we
lead us
start
into
with
that
that?
then?
Let's
Yeah,
start with
let's
that
start with
one. Let's
that.
start with huge UFO news because this is the one I'm personally the most excited about. So,
Yeah, but how big is it really?
it's pretty massive. Let's get ready. Prepare yourselves, everyone. Jamie, let's just roll right into it whenever you got it going.
If you've been watching the show for some time, you'll know how just extensively we cover all things UFO, or UAP as the government now calls it. This show was the first to interview whistleblower David Grush, and he was a former Air Force officer who came forward to claim that the government had secretly recovered alien technology. That was 2 years ago. And now what was then crazy has become something of
Am
a
I trying to
unifying
help you
topic for
silently?
lawmakers from both sides of the aisle, to the point where a brand new documentary is being
I
released
think it's better if he
today
has
about
to lean into
all
the
the
shot.
things UAP,
I'm like, where's the
all
camera?
things UAP, and it's all
It's 'cause my
featuring
camera
officials
moves
from the
on
very
me.
highest levels of the U.S. government. The documentary is called The Age of Disclosure.
Okay, so this
and it
lady's
tells
just giving the
story of
intro.
an 80
The juicy stuff's
global
coming in a
cover-up
minute when the
concealing
people
the
start talking
existence
about
of
it.
intelligent alien life and
So,
technology. Tonight we'll
what's
bring you an
that
exclusive.
documentary called? The Age of Disclosure. This I very much want to watch this wherever it's possible. I think it's in some theaters, and it's on like I don't know. Hopefully, it's on Netflix or something like that, and not like one of those weird like sci-fi centric networks you have to like pay $20 a month for, because that's what happens with a lot of these things. And I go, okay, I'm never going to watch that. But the age of disclosure, these clips we're going to see kind of got me excited and a little nervous. We'll see. Aliens are out there apparently, for
We
real.
learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
Some people claim it would cost them their lives if they spoke out about these things.
The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
Who's going to crack the code?
This is
These are like
similar
the
to the
fears we
Manhattan
all
Project.
have,
This
you
is the
know?
atomic weapon on steroids.
If Xi Jinping had access to this, if Putin had access, you think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends
I also
of
want to
domination?
say that maybe a documentary like this could be a little bit of like fear control, you know, like,
Yeah, it
do
seems
we
like,
trust these government people that are talking?
I mean, it's like, do you really trust, like, was that Marco Rubio, who's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
heavily entrenched in the Trump circles?
And like, could this also be Epstein distraction stuff? Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
I
it's
want
like,
it to be real, and I don't want to hear it from these people, but I'll hear it from whoever's going to say it, I guess.
right. It's like, I want this to be real as well, but
Wait, we have breaking news in the chat. Aladdin says aliens technically seem like a real thing. No person can make a computer chip. What? Where have they been coming from?
came from the sky.
Oh, wait, is that real though? That's not real.
I mean, I think
isn't it just a bunch of soldering and stuff?
I mean, I think that like that is like I've heard arguments that are similar from people before, being like, you know, how did we jump from like one technology to the next technology? And
Because
like
it was
now,
given to us and we were shown the
it's like,
way.
right. It's like we were given the technology, we were shown the way, but also it's like I've heard specifically with like computer chips, with it being like, you know, this like tiny micro processor. And it's like, and like, if you've ever seen like magnification of a computer chip, it is pretty
Mhm.
breathtaking to be like, oh, it's like, how did they make this thing?
Yeah, I always wonder when I see things like that, like, how did the people get their fingers to like do that? And like, it's such minute little movements that you'd have to do to like connect that stuff. But I guess it's like machine arms and stuff. But computer chips have been made since like the 60s. Did we have the technology to do that then?
I
Maybe
mean,
even
my
the
understanding
50s.
of computer technology and computer chips is that, you know, everything has just progressively gotten smaller. Even like, look at your cell phone. Your like cell phones in the 80s were gigantic, and now cell phones, they got smaller and then they got bigger again because for
Like,
whatever.
how did they get a model in?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. How did they get all the models into the phones?
Come
But
out.
I think that, you know, we started with the ability to make computer chips and processors, and computers themselves were very, very large. Like, I mean, if you looked at computers from the 1930s
Oh yeah, they were
and
like the
40s,
size of a room.
they took up an entire room, and like everything has just gotten smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So I mean,
I think that is some human ingenuity, but then also there's always jumps. We're getting on a side tangent now, but yeah, I think at some point maybe we were given some technology, like even back with the Egyptians, you know, with what the pyramids were originally used for. So I wouldn't be surprised if aliens were here, yes, and there's something going on, but I
Yeah.
just want I want to see something. And this documentary makes me think, okay, maybe we will finally see something because they're being more open with things.
I just don't know. And like, you see that guy in every documentary. It's Luis Elizondo, and the guy with the goatee. If you want to back it up, not the president of China.
This guy, the white hair.
No, go back more. Go back. They showed him. Well, there was another figure that they showed. But like David Gresh, they show him all the time, and he was an alleged whistleblower, former Navy pilot, I think. And then Luis Elizondo, who he's in like every documentary ever. But even like Luis Elizondo, I believe he worked for the CIA before he became like this big like whistleblower like agent, and now he does all the documentaries and all of this other type of thing. So there is such a thing I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I forget I forget the guy's name. I'd have to like look it up to like try to remember it. His name specifically, but the military does, or at least it did, and I'm sure that they still do, have what they refer to as disinformation agents,
Yeah, that's
where
been a thing they've been doing for since the beginning of the
they've been doing
government.
that forever. So it's like the idea that like, okay, we've got Luis Elizondo, who he might be telling the truth, and he might actually want us to uh know the truth about UFOs, and like, supposedly like he's had whistleblowers come forward with information, but also he used to work for the CIA. What if he's still on the government payroll? And it's like he's just
Yeah.
telling us what people like he's telling people what they want to hear. I also think that right now, in particular, if there's documentaries like this coming out, I do think that the timing with the Epstein stuff
Yeah, that's
and
what I was gonna say. That's what makes me wonder, I
right,
guess.
it's like I don't trust anything. Let me be clear that I my level of trust for the government is already low, but I trust what's coming out of the Trump government even
Yeah, this
less.
government specifically, I don't trust. But I
Right.
will say this: I don't know who the director is. If he's hopefully he's just a director, not connected to some government at all.
Wait, it
But
says that the director's name is Jay Epstein. Does that have anything?
oh, must
J. Dot
be
Epstein. That's weird.
it must be a scientist. Sounds like a scientist name.
John.
Yeah. Oh, must be relative of
Oh,
Einstein.
cuz
It sounds
yeah,
similar.
yeah, cousin. No, but I
Well,
don't
what
know. It's like
the thing I
I
want to
just don't
see
know what
is
to
like
think.
what this guy here, the director, what he says is pretty interesting. I think you should listen to this and then we can talk about like how phony we think this is and consider all those other outside influences that of like why we're getting this information at this moment.
I assume it's this part near just after the trailer.
Yeah, after the trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
So now
Is the document
it's like, yup, there's aliens. Yup, we have UFOs. We're trying to reverse engineer it and we're racing
Oh,
against
this
the
is
other
already out.
countries.
Foe is saying this is already it's on Amazon Prime. It came out November
Oh, it's on
21st.
Amazon Prime. Okay, Foe, thank you.
The
I'm
director's
gonna
name
watch
is
this and I'll report back next week.
it's Dan Farrow.
Dan Farrow. Okay, I'm gonna watch this, and if you guys on the chat want to watch it too, then we can all talk about this next week. But yeah,
Documentary's
Jamie, let's
director
play
and
it.
producer, and he joins me now. All right, Dan, I was up way too late watching this entire thing because I literally couldn't stop. Congratulations, it's fantastic. I was struck by this line from one of the people you interviewed. Without a doubt, there has never been a program before that has been so successfully kept out of the public eye as the Legacy Crash Retrieval Program. What is it?
One of the intelligence officials in the film makes that statement, and previously the most secretive program was the Manhattan Project, but we found out in hindsight that the Manhattan Project had leaks. So when this program was created, they made it even more secretive and put more security measures in place, and those security measures have ruled the day the last 80 years.
The Legacy Crash Retrieval Program is something that the Air Force does for the most part.
It's crazy the
They
Manhattan
have
Project was
special-
real.
Yeah, and I
Does that
I
mean
don't
that
know.
that ship actually disappeared, or was it a thing
No,
they were trying to do and it didn't actually?
No, that's
disappear?
that's the Philadelphia experiment. What he's talking about is the Manhattan.
Oh,
The Manhattan
I get those
Project was built.
confused.
The Manhattan Project was building a hydrogen bomb, and like with that, it's like
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Never mind.
with building that bomb, I don't necessarily agree with what the director's saying, because people did not know that we had the ability to drop like weapons that could destroy the world. Like people were not aware that the United States had that technology. Like they were deliberately trying to keep that ultra secret. And like maybe there were a few leaks here and there, but like
Mm.
also it's the timing of it. It's like I don't think that the two things are directly comparable. I think it's like this was also at a time before social media. This is before people could just post something on Twitter. They could post something on Blue Sky or
Yeah.
something. So I
But
do think it was
here's a
easier to keep a
question for
secret
you.
back then.
Wasn't there when they were making the atom bomb, Oppenheimer and all that? Wasn't there a fear of making that? That one of the fears was if they drop it. I think it was Matt Damon's character that says it in the Oppenheimer movie. Weren't they afraid that it would like make the Earth like not? I don't want to say fall out of the sky or break in half or collapse. Wasn't there a fear that the atom bomb could actually do something that would like just destroy the Earth in some weird way, like throw it out of orbit or something?
I mean, I think that we didn't know like those like weapons on that scale had never been used before other than like
Yeah.
testing. And I think we didn't like that was literally harnessing the power of the atom, right? So
Yeah.
we didn't know what was going to happen when we dropped a weapon that could could destroy things on like that sort of like catastrophic unprecedented level of like absolute and utter pure destruction before.
Yeah.
So we didn't know and we didn't have like I mean like what were the scientific instruments we were using during that time too? Like by today's standards they were pretty primitive like measurements that people were taking. Like this was like the 1940s and like uh like what were they using? They literally were out in those scientists, there's so many scientists and soldiers that developed all sorts of crazy cancers years later because they didn't know that like that
Yeah.
sort of like
I've heard
horrific
about them talking
radiation,
about that recently.
right? Like all of the townspeople, like the from nearby towns, like we didn't understand anything
Here,
about what we were going to unleash.
here's a thought. I just thought of this. All right, so our weapons on Earth are usually bullets, different speeds of bullets, different shapes of bullets, but they're usually just bullets. And then there's grenades,
Projectiles, I guess.
metallic projectiles, or
Yeah.
just projectiles. Yes, that's what we do in war, in battle. It's always the same thing. Then there's the atom bomb, which is just like a huge other, completely different thing. It's like this atomic cancer-ridden, melting, burning hell that you just
It's
drop on people, right? It's
It's
like the
it's
lava
pure
or
I mean,
something.
like, if you dropped an atomic bomb on, like, you're in LA. If
Mhm.
somebody dropped, one of today's atomic bombs on LA, there would be nothing left. Like, it's like
Oh, I
destruction
know.
on
Yeah.
it's like destruction on, like it's on a level that, like, at any other time in human history, like, there's no way that you could go back a couple hundred years and, like, explain what would happen when you dropped this device to
Yeah.
somebody in like the 1700s, be like, "Oh, there's dust. There's nothing left."
Yeah,
And
it just
that's
ruins
crazy.
everything. Well, so I'm just trying to make a comparison here. This is like a sort of a side topic, I guess. But like there's
Uh,
bullets and then there's bombs. And bombs are such different things. They're not like bullets. That you drop them and then they explode like a grenade. But like why have there never been like a morphing of the two? Why aren't there like mini atomic guns that would shoot like like a micro like a very small atomic bomb at a person to melt like the room of people? I guess because it would then hurt the shooter as well. So maybe
I
I'm now
mean,
realizing the
I
flaw
think
in my suggestion.
I
But
I
like
I
you would
I
think
will
there'd be some
also
sort of like portal. In movies there's like portal guns, there's laser guns, there's all these different things. Like, why haven't we come up with like plasma guns or like lava guns or something different that instead of shooting a bullet, it shoots like a force or
I
an
I
atomic blast?
I will also say that like what we know that governments have for weaponry is often very different than what they actually have. Like
Oh yeah,
even in like
true.
the 1960s or whatever, 1970s, it came out later that the United States government had a heart attack gun. Like if you get hit with
I
this
heard about
gun,
that. Yeah. Well,
like
there's
if you get
also
hit
the
with the
5G gun. Let's not forget about that.
but like I use this point to be like they might have something that does like you get they fire it like they fire something at you, some sort of like energy weapon. Wait, or even like if you think about it, there's this has
The
come out
bad
that
mood gun.
well, there is an energy weapon that like this has come out. Like you can find video of this online. There's energy weapons that the military and law enforcement can use as crowd dispersal equipment. Like basically, they send out this signal from it's mounted on top of like a Humvee or whatever. They send out this signal and it disrupts like your brain waves and it's like but like this is
Wow.
technology that like they do have. It's not talked about often because I think they don't want people to know that they have a lot of this stuff. So to your
Mm,
point, I think that there are crazy weapons out there that are not public knowledge, or at least they're not like common public knowledge, but there is weird, crazy weapons that do exist out there.
yeah. I guess. Yeah, we don't really know what they're working on. I just think it's weird that there's just such two different types of weapons. There's bullets and then psychotic bombs. There's no in between.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
agree with the chat. I think we should go back to swords and fists. That should be the war weapons. Get rid of guns. It's for cheaters. It's the lame people who can't fight.
Mhm.
I hate guns. Anyway,
Mhm.
sorry. Very, very off topic. But let's hear what this guy says. We haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. He's about to tell us that aliens are freaking real.
Units that go out to collect, to retrieve alien spacecraft that have crashed.
Well, the people in my film reveal that the elements of this program are elements of the Air Force, elements of the CIA, elements of the Department of Energy, and military defense contractors.
All right. For decades, they've had these units that go out, and we're not the only ones with these units that are going out to retrieve the stuff.
Yeah.
Russia and China are too. That's the other amazing thing that you reveal in the film, which is that we're in a secret arms race.
Yeah, it's arguably the most shocking of the reveals that there is this high-stakes secret Cold War race to reverse engineer technology of non-human origin that the United States is involved in with adversarial nations like China and Russia.
We think China and Russia both have retrieved alien spacecraft as well.
That's what the officials in my film go on the record stating.
They go on the record, in fact, saying that what in 1989, we think the Soviets retrieved a tic-tac shaped spacecraft.
Ooh, in the 80s.
I mean, I think that that's
Wow.
like, so
The
I think that
80s. So if it is
but-
some secret government project, they've been doing this for a long time. I would have thought that in the 80s it would have been from out of the planet. Some other creatures have come here with these ships. But there is a theory that it's like us humans in these super companies
it could
that
be
are
true.
beyond
Well,
the government.
Well, I
doing
mean,
it.
like a very famous example is a lot of the townsfolk in Nevada, which is where a lot of these defense contractors have manufacturing facilities. Like seeing things like the stealth fighter, the stealth bomber, and like people were seeing the stealth bomber and reporting that as a UFO. So like there are those things where it's like I do think that a lot of these craft are uh it's it's just it's experimental military technology mistaken for UFOs. But
Yeah.
I do think that there is something to this, which it's a very American mentality to be like we are the only ones that have ever experienced a UFO, and like no other nation has ever experienced a UFO. So it
Yeah, I don't
does
believe that.
it does
Brazil
make
has tons of UFOs.
Right, Brazil has tons of UFOs, and it also makes sense that like a giant modern nation like China has what the second largest for they might be the largest military in the world now,
Yeah.
second largest maybe to us, but like I like a very modern country like China would also like if UFOs are visiting the US, it also makes sense that they'd be visiting China, they'd be visiting Russia. And then if
Mhm.
they're crashing here, they've probably crashed there. And then it also makes sense, like I agree with what this documentarian is saying. It also then makes sense that these other nations are also trying to reverse engineer this aircraft so that
Yeah.
they can be the first ones to have extremely sophisticated military technology because then that would make them the number one nation in the world.
Yeah. I think it's happening. I think that's
Yeah.
definitely going on. It's just interesting that we are now finding out about it. Are we being let to know about this? Are they letting us
Yeah.
know, or are we not supposed to be hearing this? That's what I want to
See,
know.
that's always what like especially if it's like especially if it's the guy on ABC News saying like, I've got the secret knowledge. Here, we've
Yeah.
got China, we've
Oh,
got
how did
Russia,
you
we've got
get
the
it,
United States.
pal?
Yeah, be like, oh, we've got the I like, oh yeah, Amazon gave me $2 million for my documentary that's going to be like on, and like you've got senior White House officials being interviewed for this documentary as well. So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
like,
the fact that there was a current like administration guy in this documentary, I didn't realize that till now. Just watching it, when I watched it last time, I didn't notice the guy.
and he's
I'm
like a
kind of
high
like,
up
oh,
official as
yeah, he's
well,
kind of,
Marco
that guy's kind of a
Rubio.
dingus too. So I was like, oh crap, I don't know if I believe any of this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that you. So I will go on record, and I think you and I both agree together on this. I do think that more likely than not, we have been visited by extraterrestrial beings from
Mhm.
somewhere beyond our solar system.
Yeah,
Whether or not we've captured their aircraft, that's a whole different conversation. Maybe yes, maybe no, depending on the stories that you hear. But I don't know about this documentary.
Let's play a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can get him to say. I swear he said something interesting in this, but now I'm like not hearing what I thought I heard.
Which was significantly larger than the Tic Tac encountered by the Nimitz carrier strike group, and Commander Dave Fravor, who pursued it.
You also have two different astrophysicists in the documentary who say the government has retrieved at least two different alien species, and that
Here we go.
one of them made contact with the crash retrieval team. What does that mean? Does that mean it
Holy
was
crap.
alive when they captured it?
One of the intelligence officials in the film.
It just said,
speaks
was
about
that?
an event
He's like,
that,
was
US
that?
military
Was that?
where
Where's your
two
bum do?
UAP approached the base. One of them landed, and apparently non-human beings exited the craft and interacted with members of the Air Force and the CIA. Now, here's the thing: these all sound like extraordinary claims.
That's insane.
that are hard
That's
for people to
insane.
Crazy.
I love
get around,
that.
right?
Yeah.
But these are 34. In my film, there's 34 extremely high-level military, government, and intelligence officials, people who have been trusted with very high-level security clearances, people who have been involved in, keeping this nation safe in many different ways, and people who we trust in a lot of scenarios. And
But it's like, why are they coming forward now?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I do think
that was the
even,
intriguing thing. The alien thing was like, wait, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's confirmed. Yeah, we got aliens here. That's awesome. Will Smith punched one in the face and dragged it through the desert, and then here it is. Remember from the movie from Independence Day?
I do remember the movie.
That's how we got these aliens.
The documentary.
The documentary Independence Day.
They blew up the White House in that movie.
Yeah, hopefully they blew up all of Trump's hamburgers and McDonald's Happy Meals too.
Well,
can we get 22 likes? We're close to 22. Can we hit that 22 likes, please?
You
everyone?
be the judge. You be the judge. I don't know. Maybe it's like there could be something to this. I also think that even if there is truth to what they're saying, they could be allowed to talk about this now as a bit of. I do think that there is an element of distraction with what they're with the information that they're distributing.
Yeah.
That's
it could
like
be distraction for sure. Who knows? Interesting though. Interesting little clip.
It is interesting.
And it makes
I
you
like
go, oh, all right. I hope there's some truth to that.
I like to hear about it. What does Alex Jones have to say about it?
No, we don't talk about that creature on this show. We don't care what that thing has to say.
Here's what kind of goal do we have to get to have you we have to have a goal where you have to take his entire line of supplements and you have to review them. You have to be like, all
I
right,
would never put that in my body. No.
You have to take the Ultra Male Vitality.
Nope.
And you have to take like the whatever, like all of his vitamins, all of his.
You want to know what the Ultra Male Vitality is? Whole vegetables. Eat some natural freaking food.
Dark leafy greens.
Eat an apple. Streets of Rage, baby. You pick up the apple and it's a power up.
Speaking of apples,
eat a turkey or a tofurkey.
Speaking of apples, for the holiday yesterday, decided to bake a previously frozen pie, and it took me out.
It took you out?
It took me out. I think there was so much sugar in the pie that I can't remember the last time I was like, I just gotta lie down. I was like, I think this pie took me out. This pie took me out.
You are at unk age.
You're an unk. You're 4 years older than I am. You're more unk than I am.
But you're acting like unk. I'm not. I just did a freaking 360 off a ledge yesterday.
So we ate the food, and then I think my mistake was I went back for a second helping of mashed potatoes.
There you go. That's your downfall.
And
right
then
there, ate 1 second.
Well, I was like,
1 second.
I was like, I'll just have a little bit more mashed potatoes, and I got some more mashed potatoes. But then I was like, might as well have a piece of pie now. And then the pie absolutely annihilated me, and I had to go lie down for like an hour. I couldn't hang.
So did you just get really tired?
I think there was a lot of I don't know if you know this, but the Marie calendar, the really the Marie calendar, calendar, the super trashy store-bought pies, the apple ones are vegan.
Oh, well, I think most apple pies are vegan. Even the McDonald's apple pies are vegan.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, these are like there's no like dairy or anything in it. But I got
Yeah.
that, and because we were gonna just make a pie, but then we were like, we're already making all this other stuff, and I was like, to save time, I'll just buy a pie because that's like and it was like fairly inexpensive,
Hmm.
and I was like, all right, I'm like, we'll just buy it, but like no joke, I think there was so much sugar in the pie
Oh
that I
yeah,
was
it probably
like,
knocked you out.
I was annihilated. How was your
Yeah.
how was everybody in the chats? We don't really celebrate the holiday, but we do celebrate the making of food and all of that type of
Well,
thing. I hope
but
it,
we used to call it in honor of our old friend Jared Pete. He used to call it Harvest Day instead of Thanksgiving because I don't really love Thanksgiving,
yeah,
American Thanksgiving, honestly, because it's celebrating like the remember the days we murdered all the Native Americans and we showed up and took over.
exactly.
That's kind of like
That's
sad.
why, like, I always feel bad in a way because like people always like wish me like they're always like even on like stream because I stream, so do you. People are
Mhm.
like Happy Thanksgiving, and I'm like I have to be like actually it's like the holiday was kind of built on like genocide and stuff. I don't celebrate that holiday, but like I hope you have a good day,
Yeah,
and like I kind of like leave it at that. But I do hope everybody had a good day,
yeah.
and
It's
I
really a day now about just hanging out with your family and eating food.
yeah
So it's just a meal day to me. I,
I'll
I
tell you.
genuinely do not care about Thanksgiving, and I don't even really. A lot of years, I just don't even eat any food. I'm usually just doing something else, editing something, or I'm out doing something. But yesterday, I did go to Paul's, and Katie and I went over there and hung out with some people, and then we played perverted. Remember that Super Touch video game I got him? It's one of those
You were
video
all
games that
touching each other.
nope. There's a thing called
That's
Mega
what you just
Touch.
said. You said I went to Paul's with
We played a game called Mega Touch.
No, 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 no,
It's a
no, 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 no,
perverted
no.
game
That's
called
not
Mega
that's
Touch.
not
You
what
guys
I
ever
heard.
play
I
that?
heard I heard I went to Paul's with Katie and we all started touching each other.
No, we started touching Mega Touch. So Mega Touch is a touchscreen TV, like a video game from like the early
Oh
2000s.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Remember
Yeah,
that thing? I
You
bought it
bought
for
him that.
Paul's birthday.
You
Yeah,
bought, I
he
forgot
still
about that. You
has
bought him
it.
that stupid old that stupid old. They had one of those when I worked at the arcade, the bowling alley.
Yeah,
They had one of those there because I remember when you got that, I was like, oh, one of these stupid things. Like
they're
all of
they're
the
in bars and truck stops,
yeah,
and
all of this.
basically you touch the screen. If you get the answers right, it reveals like a part of the naked lady, or if you
No, so
find there's all kinds of mini games, and they show naked men or women basically. So,
so for anybody in the chat,
well, sorry, there's also is an exotic category, erotic category.
it's a
There's other
touch it,
categories,
it's a
but there's
touch
like
screen
perverted games too.
trivia game from like the 90s that they used to have at like trashy bars and stuff, and I think that you bought
Mhm.
it for Paul as like a joke,
I bought it off Craigslist for Paul, and I was like, "Here's the ultimate video
and he
game
still has
experience,
that.
Paul." He still has it. So we were playing that
Funny.
yesterday, and it's just like a sexy lady, like with champagne, and you have to spot the difference between the two pictures. It's like, oh, her hand's missing a finger, and it's really fun, but you just happen to be looking at naked people. And then there's one where you have to make the lines connect, and then it removes a part of the image and it reveals the naked body. And in each game, you can select hunks or babes, and you can see dudes or ladies, and they're all very cheesy and very fun. So that's what we did
So
yesterday. It was a full vegan Thanksgiving, so it was great for Katie. And
so
yeah,
you
we
all
had
went
some
over to
food.
everybody went over to Paul's house and you all played a porno game
Yep, from the 90s.
from the 90s. Interesting.
It was a great time. I'm thankful
I
for 90s boobs.
I will say that we made food here. It was pretty good. I hope everybody in the chat had a good holiday time as well. We made food here. It was pretty simple. We uh Alba made a lot of really good stuff, and I provided the assist, and we would just watch the new Stranger Things. And then I had the pie and I fell asleep.
Sounds like a good Thanksgiving. I just ran
Mhm,
out of the room to kiss the lady.
mhm,
She's
mhm,
home.
mhm.
Well, should we get on to the next topic?
We should. Should we get on to the big topic, or at least one of the topic that I really wanted to
Yeah.
discuss?
Let's get on to the title topic, the title of the show.
Title topic. So I'll tee it up here.
Let's do it.
Nathan, do you remember the Slender Man stabber?
No. Tell you what, I don't even really know the full lore of Slender Man, but I know he's a spooky guy in the woods, and he
Oh,
looks like Bob.
Oh boy. So essentially, and I'm gonna try to boil this down as I remember it. Essentially, these two young girls, I think they were, and Jamie might be able to pipe in here. I think they were like 12 or 13 at the time. They lured their friend out into the woods and they attempted to sacrifice her, stab her to death. And when they were later caught, they claimed they were doing so as a sacrifice to Slenderman, who is an internet horror lore icon. And the girl survived. The girl that they stabbed, I don't even remember how many times they stabbed her, 20 times, 30 times. She survived, but one of and the girls now are in their 20s, and one of the Slenderman stabbers escaped last week.
Whoa. This is like very involved. And I never even heard of this.
This was I mean, I and Jamie might be able to chime in a little bit, but I think that from my perspective, Slenderman was kind of like on the rise, and then there were things like Marble Hornets, the ARG. There was a video game. There was a movie. Slenderman was like, in my opinion, he was either becoming or he had like become very big. He'd become like a Michael Myers, and like he
Yeah,
was very
he
creepy.
was basically destined to be the new spooky face of horror.
Slenderman was everywhere for a little bit. And
Mhm.
then these girls claimed they tried to murder their friend, and they claimed that they did it because Slenderman told them to do it. And from that, right around that time was also when Slenderman kind of dropped out of the public consciousness. Like
Mhm.
I stopped hearing about Slenderman, and then Marble Hornets kind of stopped. They kind of faded away,
Mhm.
and Slenderman has just started to make a comeback. But
Oh,
this
he's coming back now.
Slenderman is like made a yeah, he's like I've noticed some projects are starting to utilize Slenderman again, because I do think it's been long enough since the Slenderman stabbings, that or the Slenderman stabbing, that now I think it from my perspective, it seems like it's more okay to talk about Slenderman again, and I think people have largely forgotten about
Yeah.
this case. But this was a crazy case. These girls, they literally lured their friend out into the middle of the woods and then attempted to stab their friend to death, and their defense was, because Slenderman told me to do it.
It's so messed up. It's like either she's saying that just to like get out of being a murderer and like, oh, she's crazy. Let's just put her in a mental institution, or she really believes this. I feel like
I
she doesn't really believe it, and she just wanted to kill
Yeah.
somebody.
I mean, I do think that there is something too. Like, these were young. I think that there probably was some sort of like psychosis involved. But I also do think that these girls were young. And I think if you're young and you're involved in a fandom, especially a fandom, like I'm 99.9% sure that if these girls were involved in the fandom, they watch things like Marble Hornets.
Bet you
Um,
they watch Dab.
I mean, I think that they were in jail, so I don't. I don't. You see, you're enjoying you're enjoying that pizza there.
Vegan pizza for Black Friday. It's got black crust.
Oh, it's got that
Goth
nice
pizza,
char.
Katie says.
Nice.
So I'll chime in a little bit for about the Slenderman stabbings to kind of fill in the extra parts. But from my understanding, Slenderman was already kind of dying down by the time the stabbings happened, because he hit his peak in 2012. And there was a game and a couple of movie attempts around there that didn't hit the same levels of success in 2013 because the fad had kind of ended, and Slenderman had more become a meme afterwards because there was a lot of jokes, a lot of things going on in that area. And these two girls that suddenly got a hold of Slenderman did not get a hold of it from Marble Hornets, from my understanding, or Everyman Hybrid. They got it from the creepypasta forums, because Slenderman had suddenly embodied himself in the creepypasta world. And so they actually learned Slenderman from a bunch of cameos and fan fictions where people got all the creepypasta monsters together to date each other. In fact, what they actually believed was that Slenderman lived in a Slenderman mansion where he lived with all of the other creepypasta monsters and essentially kind of dated each other. So they didn't actually get Slenderman from the original stuff.
This makes it worse. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like this. So basically, they were at this was ARG unfiction horror Love Island or F Boy Island. And but then these girls got a hold of this stuff, and then they were like, you know what we need to do? We need to murder our friend.
Not even, yeah, I mean, not even that when it comes to ARGs, because this was all creepypasta stuff, so this was a lot before kind of ARGs started making a name for themselves, so this was just a string, I think it was Wattpad or whatever it is, basically a place where people would write their fan fictions. Because they specifically talk about Slenderman Mansion, and I remember doing a deep dive into this because I was going to eventually make a somewhat video on it, and that's what I found, because I even messaged the creepypasta, the owners of the wiki, and they managed to trace the origins of the mansion to these Wattpad stories, so they clearly could not have got it from Marble Hornets or any of the other people. In fact, the other sad part about this story is that her dad, the main person that orchestrated this whole thing, I believe actually suffered
Morgan,
from
I think is the main
Morgan
the main person.
I believe he suffered from a very strong case of it was either schizophrenia or something very similar. And he didn't. One thing I think he said he regretted was not telling his daughter about it, and allowed her to kind of be invested because they never really checked on her, and she got too wound up on the internet and found this area, and then obviously brought one of her friends into this field, and they just this is kind of the perfect example.
So it was her friend that she stabbed.
It was her friend that she stabbed.
So
two people.
So it was Morgan and her friend, and then Morgan convinced her other friend that they needed to do this sacrifice for Slenderman.
Yeah.
And they wound each other up, and then they brought their other friend over under the guise of like, hey, do you want to come hang out with us? Do you want to come? And they brought her out into the woods to like, they were gonna go like, they're kids, they're gonna like go out into the woods and play. And when they brought the friend out there, they just started stabbing her because they were like, we need to sacrifice her
And
to Slender. And the girl
How
survived.
old were they?
Yeah.
Oh, she did survive.
I believe she was I believe they were 14 or something along those lines.
13, 14.
And
the girl's alive
the
now.
girl was stabbed something like 17 times, and she was
like a crazy
left
amount of
to
time.
die, but she crawled out of the woods onto the side of a road where someone found her and then obviously called an ambulance, and she did survive.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, I'm surprised you've never heard. I'm surprised you've never heard about
saying,
any of this.
I've never. I'm shocked I haven't.
Yeah, it's
and then that
crazy.
girl who orchestrated and did the stabbing got sent to like the mental institution, and
Yes.
then she escaped.
She cut off her. So we can get into that
Oh
part of the
yeah,
story.
let's watch
So
this now.
basically,
so, yeah, it cuts
there
off
was
her
this
leg
big
monitor or
like
whatever.
people didn't know where she was. They were like, she's gone, and like this is yes, she was young when she did this, but she was an attempted murderer, with clearly unstable, at least at some point in their life. And they were gone. They cut off their ankle monitor, which keeps them in their wherever they are, like it keeps their location. They cut off their ankle monitor and escaped their group home that they had been living in as a resident. And a group home is like, if you are released from jail or released from a psychiatric facility, usually there's a transitional period where they'll take you from one place to a group home, to like reacclimate to society. And I think that's kind of like the in-between place. So she was in this group home where she wasn't supposed to leave it, and she was wearing an ankle monitor, and she cut the ankle monitor off and escaped, and nobody knew where she was. She was taken into custody, and we'll watch that video of it because the video is
This story is like a roller coaster.
they're definitely going to make this is definitely going to be like an HBO documentary or something at some point. But she was taken into custody in Posen, Illinois, with a 43, and this girl is 23 now, which is like, I was like, that is unusual. With a 43-year-old person she had traveled across state lines with, Chad Mecca, according to the Posen Police Department, released on Monday. Police found the pair sleeping on a sidewalk. So the girl's name is Morgan Geyser, had escaped and met up with Chad Mecca, and they had initially, when they were initially stopped by law enforcement, they gave false names, and eventually she just said, you could just Google her name. She gave her name and just said, just Google me. She wouldn't give like what she actually was known for, but that, and we can watch that video footage. I'm sure that there's body cam footage, but essentially she was like, you can just Google me. And then
Okay.
police were like, oh,
chilling
it's
case
the
that made
Slender Man stabber.
National headlines, the Slenderman case. Overnight, we learned the young woman who years ago stabbed her classmate 19 times in the woods was on the run after cutting off her ankle bracelet. Late today, new body camera video just released showing her arrest. Here's ABC's Alex Perez tonight.
Morgan. Tonight, new body camera video showing the moment Morgan Geyser, convicted of brutally stabbing her classmate 19 times as she tried to crawl away in the woods in the infamous Slenderman case, was arrested after escaping from a group home in Wisconsin.
She seemed very nervous. She simply told the officer, here's my real name. You can Google me and you'll find out who I am.
Police say Geyser cut off her ankle monitoring bracelet on Saturday before fleeing on a bus with a 42-year-old friend she met at church. Officers tracking them to a truck stop about 165 miles away near Chicago, where they were sleeping on the ground.
I don't want to give you my name.
At first,
it's really
refusing
sad.
to give her real name.
I did something really wrong.
Morgan Geyser was convicted with
so they just got, they were just like talked to by the police because they were sleeping outside.
Yeah,
and what a dumb thing. Why don't you just like this? She could have actually gotten away, it seems.
Well, she wouldn't give her real name, and neither would the person that she was with. So that arose.
Just give a fake
suspicion.
name and don't show ID.
I mean, I think that I mean that's easier said than it's easier said. Police can, if they have suspicion of something, they can like take you. They can like take you in.
Yeah, I guess they could get her fingerprints and then find out who she is.
Right. So it's like she wouldn't give. I think she was being cagey. But like obviously like she had escaped from the group home, and I assume if she's in a group home, she's probably on parole.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a group home wearing an ankle monitor, you're not supposed to leave the premises. Like she's not allowed to leave. So
it's just dumb of them to sleep outside. Like what were they doing? If
I mean, I assume they'd
sleep in the car.
I mean,
Weren't they in a car?
No, they took a bus.
Oh, okay.
So
well, they have bad game plan.
I think that they didn't really have a plan, and I think that this is somebody. I think neither of them clearly had any money if they weren't staying at like a hotel. It's a very sad situation all the way around, and I think that Morgan seems like, without knowing like the ins and outs of her situation, she does seem like a very deeply troubled person, and I hope that she eventually gets. I think that she's. I do think it's
this was 10 years ago then if she's like 23 now.
She's 23. I think that she's somebody who seems as if she needs more constant supervision.
Yeah, there could be hope for her in her life if she really does get help. I mean, she might always have a very unique life under supervision, but it could be better if they try to help her, because she talks normally. I don't know. You never really.
But I mean, Ted Bundy talked normally.
Yeah, he was really charismatic. True. Yeah,
right. And I think
guess.
that's very important to remember is that like, yeah, this girl seems like harmless. And I think that that's the scary thing about it is that yes, this girl seems harmless.
Yeah, she's not your typical like murderer. You know,
I mean,
she's like a 23-year-old girl who looks like she works at Hot Topic.
Right, but then like you hear about what she did, and like she did stab, not only like stabbed, but like as her friend was like dying and crawling away, like continued to stab her friend 19 times to try to sacrifice them to a fictional character. Yeah. So this is a very dangerous individual. So very sad all the way around.
I want to also add as well that depending on what exactly they claimed they did on that night, it's also up for debate if it was even Slenderman they did it for, because when they were asked about her before she obviously got sentenced and things, this was another fact I forgot to throw in. She actually also claimed to be speaking with someone from Star Trek and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So the idea that it was all Slenderman was more, I think, picked up by the news than the actual story itself. So I think they were very deeply embedded in a lot of issues that had a lot of unchecked mental health.
We're clickbaiting right now, is what you're saying.
Clickbaiting. Well, no, I think I think they still claimed they did the big plea of Slenderman thing in, but I think the news definitely hypened it up a lot more.
Yeah,
but also, as to what you were saying previously, you were saying that her father had schizophrenia. So I think it's very possible that, like, people that have schizophrenia often suffer from delusions, and they don't know what's real and what's not. So it's like, I do think if something like that, and often these things are hereditary. So I think it's also possible that, like, and I can't speak to it, but like, if her father also had schizophrenia, it's very possible that she's schizophrenic.
Yeah. Yeah, something's wrong. If you can bring yourself to stab someone that you're friends with, then there's definitely something going on.
But
you
yeah,
don't just
very
do that for no reason.
Very crazy case.
If your head is functioning. Wow. Yeah, I didn't realize it was so involved, this story.
Oh yeah,
There's so much to it.
I think even at some point, like, we could even talk about that Slenderman, the original Slenderman case, and like Slenderman itself, because I like.
Yeah, have there been other crimes committed for the honor of Slenderman or whatever, however you want to phrase it?
No, but I think that it's
sacrifice.
I think it's the same sort of thing as, like, somebody saying, I'm sacrificing this person for the devil, or whatever.
You just say the thing because it's just an excuse to do it.
But I think if you're somebody who has like a actual disorder, like if you're somebody who's schizophrenic, you might actually believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're choosing what you're believing, though. That's the thing, because like you're drawn to Slender Man or whatever.
Well, no. Like, if somebody's schizophrenic, they can't choose what they believe. Whatever.
Well,
their
brain picks whatever that's come through their life experience, and then it jumps on what it wants.
Right, and so I do think that it's definitely possible that she could have believed that she was actually sacrificing something for this character.
Yeah.
But still scary nonetheless. But she is back in custody, and I'm quite certain this is a violation of her parole. I hope she gets the help that she needs, but it sounds like she is probably requiring a lot more supervision. But
yeah,
pretty crazy.
Wow.
Sketchy. And I do want to clarify. Yeah, I think it was schizophrenia. I just did a quick, obviously, Google search around to see.
Oh, okay.
I believe
she has
it was
schizophrenia.
Yeah, that's what the father, I think, had
diagnosed. So. Possibly. Okay. Jeez, Louise.
Well, all right. Let's
next story.
Let's get to the next story. Do you want to choose the next one?
Yeah, I do. I'm going through this. We have a lot of stuff we've added.
No. You know,
oh my gosh, we got multiple pages.
You know what?
Are some of these at the bottom old, Tom?
Let me look at the
the man swallowed by the whale. That happened a little while ago.
It's old, but so here's the thing, Nathan. We need to get things that'll trend when we get those clips of them. So we got to cover the old cases too.
Yeah, I'm not against that. We also need to maybe talk about these quicker so we can get better clips out of them. We often just give such long, strenuous opinions.
You can always do a quick setup if you want before, and then you go into your build up. So we can always edit that in afterwards if you guys want to do something like that. Do a little tagline for like a hook.
I don't think I really did a good one for the.
We could do one right now, and I'll just add it in later. I'll cut it back.
I'll tell you what's scary. The fact that we are 20% of the way to the snack goal.
Are we?
That has been posted in the chat.
Hey, if you guys want to support the show, Ko-Fi is basically a direct donation, Patreon way to support. You can become a member on there, or you can just give a one-time donation, and it will go bling bling and appear on the screen right now. Or you can become a YouTube member, or give a super chat, or gift a YouTube membership. That will help keep us doing this show every Friday. And by reminder, we're focusing right now on just doing this every Friday, so we have a whole week to build up stories, find stuff we find interesting and odd, and then talk about them on Fridays, then cut it all up into episodes and clips and videos to put on the channel. And because of all these shorts that a lot of Tom and Jamie have been doing, all the shorts have been going out, we are going up in subscribers. So the channel is slowly but surely growing.
Happening. It's doing it.
Yes, it is getting there. We're not earning any money really. You guys are supporting us, which is nice, but we're not making much ad revenue at the moment. But we are growing, and it's fun to do, and we like it. So we're gonna keep going. So if you do want to support, please Patreon or YouTube membership is the way to do it. And thank you to those who are currently doing it. Thank you to the green names out there.
There it is. There it is. Okay.
Should I do an intro then for the last one in case we want to like the huge UFO? I think the moment to clip from that is like when he says there's aliens, you know?
I was going to do something along those lines, yeah. But I think for a hook, it's up to you guys. But I just thought of this now since we were talking about it. If you want, you can go into your stories and then maybe at the end, everything we've covered, we do a quick line at the very end on the stream. And then I just cut those parts out and put them at the start of those shorts. You know, so
give a headline intro.
Yeah, because then you guys can you can tell the stories the way you want it then with build up on stream. But then for shorts, we can
what
just
we've said.
Yeah, everyone already knows what you've said about it, so you can just create a tagline, say it at the start, and then we can do that in the shorts where we just kind of give a brief hook to get people in.
Yeah.
Then that way we can actually do it properly on the stream where we build up suspense to what it is, and then. And then we can just edit in an extra clip for the start for like shorts.
Yeah. Okay. Here, let me do an intro for the alien one for then. Yeah. Tom.
Yes.
Did you know that aliens have been confirmed real? The government said so.
Really?
Yep. Here, let's get to it. New documentary came out, and they have told us that indeed the government has captured 2 alien species.
Let's go.
Finally,
we've done it.
Perfect.
We can do something like that.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, what should we do next then? So we got this strange bubble. What the heck? Oh no, someone's blurping us.
No, I was just using the blurp soundboard. I don't even know if they could hear that.
So you blurped us. So I heard it. Tom's blurping.
Well, we can't have blurp, so we might as well just play this. I don't know if the chat can hear this.
I think they can. Stop blurping us. Now we're not gonna have my ass on this video. I did talk over it. I gotta talk over it. Is that gonna be a Minecraft claim we're gonna get?
I hope so.
Because then I'll have to mute that portion of the stream.
No.
Stop blurping us.
No.
You can't blurp us from the inside. It's an inside job. Thank you. Yes,
I will say,
Jamie.
if you'd like to not have it be muted, 10 members on every stream, Nathan has to watch Kona Supin. So if you are a big time Kona Supin fan, but also a fan of torturing Nathan, every 10 members on every stream.
I will quit the show if people keep doing it every week. I will quit the show and I'll start my own show.
Just Odd Man.
It's just called Madman, and they're mad about blurps.
Odd Guy.
Just call it the non-Kona Supin stream. You're like, wow, no Kona Supin's gonna play here.
Never. The only way to blurp me is to break into the building I'm in and play it on a boombox next to my head. To find my address, new ARG, find me and blurt me. Yeah, Andren, shut your lips.
All right.
You want
to do the next story?
Yeah, we should talk about. This is a bigger story. There's the dirt bike thing, which is like a quick thing. It's I don't even think I should have it in there. It's just not even worth. It's just stupid. Some kid just drives a dirt bike and crashes into a car, and the thing blows up. I just thought it was crazy to look at, and then I threw it in here. But then we since have put in better stories. So let's talk about this. The mysterious cruise ship death. This is actually an ongoing story. So here, I'll set it up. Tom, currently developing news, finding out more and more every day. There has been a mysterious death cruise ship. And every time I check in on it, there is some more information. So let's jump into it and find out what the details are.
Give it to me.
Are new developments in the death of a Florida teenager aboard a Carnival cruise ship. According to a new court filing, the FBI may be looking at one of her step-siblings in connection with the investigation. NBC's Jesse Kirsch joins us now from Port Miami. Jesse, good morning.
Craig, good morning. When that Carnival cruise ship returned to this port, the FBI responded to the scene. But nearly 2 weeks later, the Miami-Dade medical examiner still has not announced Anna Kepner's cause of death. Meanwhile, new details are potentially emerging.
People die on cruise ships all the time. It's crazy.
This morning,
Yeah,
the
this one is
mystery deepening
particularly
around
suspicious.
the tragic death of a teenager aboard a cruise ship. 18-year-old Anna Kepner died on the Carnival Horizon ship earlier this month. The case gaining national attention. And now a document tied to some of Kepner's family coming to light. NBC News has obtained a filing from this week by an attorney for the teen's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, in an ongoing unrelated case about Hudson's past marriage. The attorney writing, an extremely sensitive and severe circumstance has arisen, saying that Hudson and her minor children were on the same Caribbean cruise as Kepner. And writing, Hudson has been advised through discussions
Seems
with
like a
FBI investigators
bad
and her
idea all the way
attorneys
around.
that a criminal case may be initiated against one of her minor children. A former police chief for the Miami PD says investigators are likely
stay off
going through
cruise
the ship's
ships.
surveillance cameras, looking for evidence and to help build a timeline of the possible crime.
They're going to be able to isolate the image of this young lady and run that against all their video streams to see where she was and when and with who. And so that's a lot to unpack.
CBS News reports that Kepner's body was found under her bed in her stateroom, according to multiple law enforcement sources.
Yeah, there was something fishy. She seemed like she was hidden. They tried to hide her body, and then there was weird activity, I believe, on one of these segments I watched, where the investigation was just like not done at all. They're just like, oh, okay, like cruise ship didn't treat this like they didn't like lock it down and like treat it seriously. They're just like, oh, she's dead, okay, and then we'll tell the FBI and we'll move on. Like they just didn't seem to care, and they didn't investigate anything.
So
They just, like,
I
said,
did
oh, she's dead, case closed.
So I have a little bit of insight into this sort of thing. I did a documentary about somebody who died on board of a Disney, or they disappeared from a Disney cruise ship, and they were a crew member. Their name was Rebecca Corium. They disappeared 10 years ago, I think, 10 or 11 years ago. And so the whole thing with a cruise ship is that often the ships themselves, they're licensed not in like, so if this left Miami, but I think that's where they said that the cruise ship, that was the port of origin. So the ships are actually licensed in other countries because it's cheaper for them to license them in like wherever, like some island nation that's like off the coast somewhere. So then the problem with the investigations themselves is they don't know who has jurisdiction, and nobody wants to take the jurisdiction.
And
so
if
like,
they're in international waters when it happens, that can mess things up.
It messes everything up. So the investigations are often super sloppy. And like for Rebecca Corium, Disney did their own investigation, and then like they claimed that like they're like, here's our findings, but like it was like an internal Disney investigation.
Yeah, like they're investigating themselves, which
they're
no one
investigating
believes.
yeah, right, because like with Rebecca Corium, like that case, they think that it was probably fellow employees that like murdered her. So like they think that there was like a cover up involved, but there's no way to like actually prove it. And that was like a big scandal like 10, 11, 12 years ago. But I think that rings true in this case. That rings true in this case as well. That often what they usually do is like whatever the country, the port of origin of that ship, if it was from, you know, whatever at like country X, that country usually sends out like one investigator. And that one investigator does like some sort of like half-hearted investigation just to put like a stamp on it to be like, you know, like cause of death unknown. Here's the stamp. Move on. And then they're paid off by like the cruise line, because the cruise line just wants to like get on to the next thing. And also like it's so difficult to investigate any case that happens on board a cruise ship. But you hear about this stuff all the time where it's like somebody disappears, somebody's murdered. These are also just large floating. So that's another point that I'll make about cases like this. These are essentially floating cities with unlimited alcohol,
Yeah.
and like it's a party, and like it's very sad, but like I do think that a lot of these cases are essentially you're in this you're on this large floating city with like you've got ship security, but the ship security is like pretty lax,
Yeah.
and like there's no follow-up investigation from the companies themselves, and like the actual law enforcement investigation is pretty subpar. So to hear that this case is going like largely unsolved is like not
I think we
it's
need to
not
listen
a
to the
big
rest of this.
surprise.
'Cause I think they mentioned some stuff. It's either this video or we can maybe question a previous one where the first time, the first installment of this when it initially happened, there was a video I watched that said something about like why it was suspicious of their handling of it.
I mean,
Let's
besides
see.
the fact that she's like stuffed under her bed.
Yeah, let's see what they say in the rest of this.
News has reached out to the FBI on the report. The FBI says it's not commenting about an ongoing investigation.
At least they're investigating.
Meanwhile, Kepner remembered this morning. The high school senior from Central Florida described in her obituary as a bright and beautiful soul.
We have reached out to an attorney for Kepner's stepmother as well as the teen's father, but we have not heard back from either party. As for the Carnival Horizon ship, the cruise line tells us in part, quote, the FBI has advised that there is no related threat to safety aboard as it sails its current voyage. Craig.
So it sounds like they have a
That's their PR cover.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could find the other one.
Basically,
other
don't go on cruise ships.
story on this.
Also, like there's always so many like there is something very scary about the idea.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, do you know the brief notes, Nathan? You could always just explain it yourself if you want.
Let me see. I'm searching. It was a couple of weeks ago. So this was, I'm looking at the links now. 3 days ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago. There's a lot coming out. People are just making videos now on this girl. But this was like, I checked in on it like 2 weeks later. I was like, okay, now we should maybe mention this on the show. Oh, stepbrother's suspect hospitalized after Kepner's death. This is 8 days ago. I just found another thing. That's interesting.
When are you going on
the story?
When are you going on the Conus Hoopin cruise though?
Never. Not happening. We're never getting members if we don't seem to have any members. So I don't think I have to go.
Yeah,
on
but
this
if we
cruise
get
ship.
10 members, you have to listen to Conus Hoopin, and you have to give us your.
And I think I'm safe forever.
Yeah, maybe.
May have died from asphyxiation. Here's this one from 6 days ago saying, this is a 9-minute video. I don't know if we want to watch that whole thing. Court TV has a 44-minute video on her. Okay, so there's a lot. People, this is a pretty big story. People are actually like, there's a lot of stuff. I searched cruise ship murder, and it's just endless videos on her from the past week.
I mean, it sounds like it's an ongoing case.
Yeah, but there were, I wish I could tell you though, there were some suspicious things that were said about like her case. Like there's no camera footage from like when she died, where she was. And
it's funny that like what you're saying, I'll have to send you my video, Nathan. You might like it. I was like really fascinated by that Rebecca Corium case, because it's like there's so many parallels where it's like they didn't have the footage, like, and like it's all cover up by like the cruise lines, but like that was like what was said from the Disney cruise, is that they're like, well, we don't have footage, we don't know what happened to her. And like everybody was like all of the investigators of the time were like, what do you mean you don't have footage? They're like, well, we lost her, we don't know where she went, we have her here and then she's gone, we don't have any other footage of Rebecca. And it's like, so you just don't have her anywhere on the ship. And they're like, oh, we have this one clip where she's looking really stressed out wearing somebody else's clothes, and then we don't have any other footage of her. So it's very like it's like obvious cover-ups, but like that's essentially what happened with Rebecca, at least as far as like I can tell, is that Disney didn't want bad PR for their cruise line, so they covered up what happened, and they think that they paid the family off. And like that's kind of what happened with like
New
Wait,
Ko-fi
what?
subscription from
A
Ishing242.
new.
Ko-fi.
Ashton. Thank
Is
you for
that
becoming
how
a
you say it?
member.
Is that finally how you say it? Kofi?
Does it? It says Kofi.
That was the actual bot itself saying Kofi. Is that how you say it? We've been saying Ko-fi. Is it Kofi?
Maybe it's Kofi.
Yeah, it's because it's a coffee. That's why there's a coffee mug.
No. But then we'd be saying coffee, not
Oh,
Kofi.
Yeah.
that was a British voice too, though. But British people might say Kofi or something.
Well, they
Yeah,
say
Jamie, how do you
coffee
say
because the whole
coffee?
point is that you've got a mug. You're paying for their coffee, but they can't say coffee.
Jamie, how
so
do you
they've
say
gone
how do you say coffee in your country?
coffee?
How do you say coffee in your language?
Yeah, in your
Coffee.
language, how do you say it?
Coffee.
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 Well, she said Kofi.
She said Kofi. Well, I'm
Jamie,
gonna say
I sent you another video that's short that maybe they'll have some new information. This says like something about maybe being strangled. Let's just watch one more on this girl.
But yeah, very sad. I mean, this is an 18-year-old high school senior. Like this was like just beginning their life.
Yeah.
Breaking
our
at 4.
biggest
The
fan,
cause of
Altoid Yoda's
death
here.
has now been revealed
Welcome.
for the 18-year-old.
Okay, here we go.
Altoid Yoda. I've got a bone to pick with Altoid Yoda. Altoid Yoda is a JFK conspiracy denier.
Wait. Oh, because Altoid Yoda's most famous video on his channel is slowed footage of JFK getting shot. So
And then
I
it
think
says like do you see it? It says like, do you see the gun? Nope, you don't.
It doesn't have like 1 million views or something.
It has like 4 million views. He's more famous than we are.
Wow. Yoda, the legend, has arrived. Okay, here. Let's watch this. So there has been some news. There's been some information, some revelations, how this girl died, apparently. Let's see what it says.
Ship. And we begin with that breaking news. A source told ABC News that 18-year-old Anna Kepner died on a cruise ship due to asphyxiation as the result of an arm across her neck until she died. Good afternoon. I'm Greg Warman.
And I'm Darlene Jones. We've also learned 2 bruises were found on the side of her neck. Channel 9's Giovanni Diaz has been tracking new developments in this story. He joins us live from Brevard County. And Gio, what else can you tell us this afternoon?
Yeah, Darlene, we are still looking through the details we obtained, but as you mentioned there, a source who was connected with the investigation into Anna's death also told us earlier this afternoon that she died after someone held their arm over her neck for too long. That's also consistent with the bruises that were found in her body. Now, you may remember Anna's body was found wrapped in a blanket under life vests. Investigators had initially reported that her family went to check on her after she did not show up for breakfast. Anna, her father, stepmother, and stepbrother were all together on a Carnival Horizon cruise ship that left from Miami earlier this month. Her family said that the 18-year-old was sharing a room with her stepbrother, who is a 16-year-old boy. Court documents related to a different case involving Anna's stepmother show that 16-year-old is now a suspect in this case. The medical examiner's office has not released their final toxicology
that's what it
results,
sounds
but
like
our
most likely to
sources
me. It's like,
are also telling us.
Why would he kill her, though?
As her
I mean, I guess you never know.
Yeah, it's like
It's
it's
I
like
wonder if it was an accident. Like,
I mean, it's not an accident when you like pin somebody down. Like it sounds like there were bruises on her neck,
Could
but
you
then
cuddle
also
and like accidentally have the weight of yourself strangle someone in their sleep? But you'd wake up. You'd wake up. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. So
no, like it sounds deliberate.
Yeah.
And this is a 16-year-old, and if the 16-year-old is now considered a suspect, and this girl was strangled, it more than likely
he'll be tried
it's
as an adult, I would think.
At 16, 16,
yeah, but you can try even if they're not 18.
No,
you can still try some kids
I'm
as an
agreeing
adult,
with you.
right?
I'm agreeing with you. 16
But
is
I'm
like,
saying, is that possible, right?
Yeah, you could try it as the 16-year-old as an adult.
Yeah. Okay. Dang, scary. Well, there we go. Possible suspect. We'll have to check in on this as it goes on because it's super sad and I feel bad, and I would like to know what happened.
Yeah, scary. Well,
Do you wanna
I guess
take
I
the
can do
next
our,
one?
I can do our next case. Yeah, I do hope that we get answers about that case. That's very just to put a pin on that, the cruise ship stuff is always, I feel like every couple of years, and again, I think it's because it's like the security is low, international waters, um, floating cities, and like a lot of alcohol is like a recipe for disaster. And
Mhm.
it's like it's very sad, but I feel like every couple of years you hear about uh something similar to this happening, which is like, um, I don't know what the answer is. Put more security on board, like
Yeah.
have like more police on board or
But, like, if
something.
that happened in their room, then who's to say, like, you can't have security
Yeah.
in the bedrooms. This could just be like a classic murder instead of in a hotel, it's on a cruise ship.
Yeah, it's still scary, but yeah, hopefully we get some answers.
Yeah.
So I will lead into the next story. Nathan,
Yes, Tom.
did you hear about the craziest story that I've heard all week?
I didn't hear about the craziest story you've heard all week. What
Let
the
me
heck
tell you.
could it be?
Let me tell you about it. All right, two men from North Texas have been charged. Do you know what they've been charged with, Nathan?
Texas? Oh boy. Reckless driving.
No.
Drunk public drunkenness.
Colder.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre and some chainsaw activity.
Warmer.
Warmer. George Bush and his brother tried to kill somebody.
Colder.
Elon Musk and George Bush, two Texas men, tried murdering Joe Rogan.
Nobody would try to murder the beloved Joe Rogan. Why would
Oh, yeah.
anybody? Why would anybody do that to Joe Rogan?
The Sasquatch lovers are coming for him.
They tried to murder Joe Rogan and take his Traeger grill.
Yeah.
It's like something he talks about all the time on a show. He's like, oh, I made the elk meat on my Traeger grill.
And his Buffalo Trace whiskey.
Right. Yeah, his Buffalo Trace. They tried to steal his cigars and his Buffalo Trace whiskey. No, it's none of these things, as a matter of fact. Two North Texas men have been charged over extremely violent plans that included, and this is not an exaggeration, they were planning on an armed coup of the island of Gonave, which is a Haitian island. So they were going to invade the country of Haiti, where they were going to murder all the men and turn all the women into sex slaves. And how were they going to do this? They were going to recruit an army of homeless individuals to act as their soldiers so they could take control of the island of Haiti and turn all of the women into sex slaves.
This is real.
This is real. This happened last week.
You'd think these guys would be from Florida because this is bonkers.
No,
This is unbelievable. The lunacy to try to plan it, think it's possible. Okay, we get there, we kill the dudes. How many knives we got? Oh, we got enough knives. We got enough guns. Once they're all dead, that's like insane to think you could kill a whole country of people and then control this whole country of women. There's only two of you. Oh, and
This was-
don't worry, we got a bunch of homeless guys. This is just so bonkers. It seems fake.
So this story is, I heard this, I was like, what? So apparently one of the men to receive the training necessary to lead the army of homeless men joined the Air Force recently. And
The harmless men.
he's been in the Air Force since January 2025 to gain the military training that, quote, would be useful in carrying out their armed coup attack, end quote. And
stupid.
the other guy had signed up for a North Texas Fire Academy, so a firefighter academy, but has failed out nearly 6 months later.
No,
But this was their big
couldn't hack
plan. Their big plan was to their big plan was to recruit an army of homeless men in Washington, D.C. to overthrow Haiti's government.
This is so stupid. This is just stupid. So how did they get caught? Someone found out, oh, these two idiots are gonna go try to invade a country. Can we arrest them? Oh yeah,
No,
sure.
they got caught just like you would expect, they were talking about it on social media.
Oh, so they just got shut down. They didn't even get the chance to get on a boat or a plane, did they?
They had begun their so they had started taking Haitian Creole language training. So they had begun learning Haitian Creole. They had researched ammunition and weapons, and they were in the other counterpart had also traveled to Thailand to enroll in a sailing school because this was going to be their big plan. Their big
Didn't they
plan
think
was
like another country would come in and like if they even got to the point where they were actually taking over the country? Didn't they think, okay, well then we'll be at a war with another country that was trying to stop us?
also this is like
This is ridiculous.
this is like this island they were going to take over that's part of Haiti. It's like hundreds of thousands of people. So like their plan was they were going to get a boat, fill it full of homeless people and guns, and then drive the boat to the island off
And
the
storm
coast
the
of Haiti
beaches.
and storm the beaches with their army of homeless men.
Eshin has said it right. This is they're going to use Meal Team 6 and Gravy Seals. These are literally just keyboard warriors with a stupid idea.
I mean, I saw this case and I knew it would be up your alley.
No, if it's odd, it's up my alley, and this is certified odd.
I do think this is. I
Oh,
think
wait.
this.
Pause real quick. Note to
Uh-huh.
you and Jamie. We should give a couple takes of us saying certified odd or certified not or whatever. Because we should, I think at the end of our little clips, we should certify each story we talk about as odd or not.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe
think
we
you should do
a
that. That'd be
couple of
good.
those.
Yeah, good idea.
But yeah, Tom, is there
we'll
a
go
video to
through.
this?
There, I did post a video, and the guys'
Let's
names
watch
were.
it.
It's Gavin Weisenberg and Tanner Thomas
They
from
look bad.
from Texas. These are two Texas boys.
Okay, they do look kind of evil, honestly, just looking at their faces.
Two North Texas men arrested for allegedly plotting a murderous coup on a Caribbean island is now telling
Going
everybody
to take
quote,
over the country
"Hold
of
their
Haiti," by
horses."
the way.
This is
Hello,
so
everybody.
stupid.
Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. Federal officials announced the indictments for Gavin Weisenberg and Tanner Thomas. Investigators.
The guy on the right
alleged
is
men were looking
trying to
recruit a
look like
small
tough.
army, take a sailboat to an island just a few
This is
miles
what I
off the
imagine Discord moderators look like when they ban somebody.
This is a Joe Rogan Discord moderator for sure, both of these guys.
coast of Haiti, kill all the men on the island, and enslave the women and children. Fox 4's Alex Boyer has more on this bizarre.
This story is real,
Alex.
by the way.
This is insane.
Real. It's real. It just happened.
Katie in the other room just, I'm surprised this isn't from in Florida. Me too.
Texas, Florida.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, to put things in perspective, a criminologist I spoke to for this story tells me that this is the most bizarre case he has ever reviewed in his 29 years in law enforcement. Now, those two North Texas suspects remain in jail. And again, as you mentioned, they're accused of plotting a coup some 1,700 miles away. These are the North Texas men federal prosecutors say were planning to travel.
These photos
to
were definitely taken in jail too. Those are their mugshots.
Oh,
like
for
that's
sure.
like that's the all right. It's like all right, bro. We
Hard
gotta
stance.
look.
Do a hard stance.
Yeah, gotta look tough. We don't make look as tough as possible, bro. I got you, bro.
Oh, I'm down. We're gonna look sick.
an island in Haiti to kill the men and turn the women into sex slaves. Dr. Alex Del Carmen calls it the most bizarre case he's seen in his entire career.
Well, you know, this is a very unusual case, right? I mean,
According to a federal indictment, 21-year-old Gavin Weisenberg from Allen and 20-year-old Tanner Thomas from Argyle had been plotting to invade Gonave Island with a population of 87,000, which is part of Haiti.
They're gonna take over an
Weis-
island of 87,000 people with their
Hey,
plan.
dude, they've been taking creatine and they know what they're doing.
Dude, I've been in the dude. Listen, I joined the Air Force. I've been like literally the guy joined
All
the
I
Air
did was
Force.
fill out the paperwork, but I'm technically in.
I mean, technically he was in the Air Force. He went through basic training, but like that's like the extent of like this
Which
man's
most
knowledge.
people could go through.
Right, and this is also and not to my father was in the Air Force. I'm not gonna like talk down to people who have served in the Air Force. I'm told that is the easiest basic training to get through.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
and Thomas planned to invade the island by sailboat, heavily armed, using homeless people they would enlist from Washington, D.C. to murder the men on the island, take control of the territory, and then turn the women into sex slaves. Prosecutors say Thomas prepared for the attack by
So many
enlisting in
questions.
the Air Force for military
I don't know how
training.
you even like think of this like.
And why Washington, D.C. homeless people? They're going to go from Texas to Washington, D.C., get a bunch of homeless guys. Are they going to put them on a plane? They're going to buy all these tickets and they're going to fly down south. Like, this is so convoluted. And they're both 20 years old.
Yeah, I also have a lot of questions here. Like, yeah, I don't understand the lot. Like, I don't think that there was a lot of logic in this one. Yeah,
It's insane.
This is an insane plan.
And Weisenberg enrolled in a fire training academy, but later flunked out. Both men are accused of manufacturing child pornography by manipulating and exploiting a juvenile. I talked to Del Carmen about the wild and highly implausible scheme.
I think it's more than just talk, right? So typically what federal prosecutors will do is they're going to look at what sort of planification, took place, and whether or not there was an intent. And in addition to the intent, whether these individuals had the capability of doing this, and all of these
they didn't. I'm gonna tell you right now, they did not have the capability. They did not. Like, at a maximum, this would have been two men in a boat going to an island and doing something like crazy and then getting caught right away.
Yeah.
Of the crime are present in this particular case.
But in a statement to Fox 4 News, the attorney for Gavin Weisenberg said, "I encourage everyone to hold their horses and stay tuned. An indictment is simply an allegation." And
They're
while
going to
there
say
is
that they
some
just
truth-
fantasized about this. I'm calling it right now.
They're going to get off.
I don't think they're going to get off on it. I think
right now they're basically just writing like some sort of fiction, basically.
Right. I think what'll probably happen is that guy will get kicked out of the military. He'll get a dishonorable discharge. They'll probably get like probation or something. And then like, I think that's what'll happen. It seems like, because they didn't actually do
There was
anything
no action
yet.
taken yet. It's sketchy that it's just a negative. It's sad to just find out there's people that want to do something like that and think they could. That's discouraging and disappointing in humanity. But yeah, other than that, like, what are you going to do if they didn't do anything?
These are two men who like,
I hope they don't do something later in life. That's what I'm worried about.
I really hope that at a minimum, the court like orders these men. These are young men. This is 21 and 20. I hope at a minimum, the court says you both need to do 1,000 hours of community service, 1,000 hours of counseling, and like you have to like be a good citizen. Like,
they could never get specific jobs like postal service, army, firefighter. They should never be able to get jobs like like that.
Yeah, I think that's like that one guy who was a serving member of the Air Force at the time of like being caught. He's definitely like ruined his military career, which is
didn't he get flunked out? Didn't he flunk out? They said.
No, there one guy joined the Air Force and he was a serving member of the Air Force. The other guy joined a firefighters academy.
Oh, and
the
he
guy who was
the firefighters academy.
Firefighter guy, which is like I think that's probably a harder school.
Yeah.
But
a dream of mine recently. I wanted to be a fireman. Too old though. Can't be over 35. FYI, anyone out there?
Just say that you're 35.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that.
How?
Right.
Yeah, but you could definitely be a volunteer. Like
I'm trying to find out how. It's literally the hardest thing to get into. I'm looking at all the different fire departments. I want to just go. Can I just like sweep up and like roll up the hoses or something? I just want to like be around.
I was gonna say, like, even growing up,
able body.
Well, I remember seeing the volunteer firefighters from our hometown that were all like 50-year-old, like super out of shape guys. And I'm like, if they could be volunteer firefighters, I'm pretty sure that a 44-year-old.
I wouldn't get paid though if I was to do that. I could do that.
But if you just want to do it and you just want to like,
I do want money. That's kind of the main thing. But yeah, I could do volunteer just for the stories.
If you want to just say you're a firefighter, you can just be a firefighter here.
Yeah, or I could just blow out some candles and then I fought fires. Did it.
Exactly.
Mustache has a purpose now.
It will become clear what actually did not, and could not have happened. If your initial response to the government's press release was, "That sounds crazy, impossible, and absurd," you might be onto something.
I've seen a lot. But I've never seen anything like this before on U.S. soil.
And we
Welcome
also
to
heard
America,
back
pal.
from Tanner Thomas's attorney
USA.
via email this afternoon, and he said that he will be defending this case vigorously, and also added that his client will be entering a plea of not guilty on Monday.
So stupid.
USA, baby. Well, yeah,
Yep.
this was a crazy case.
Do you think
they're
they'll get
entering
him to
not
say that he
guilty?
can see Super Mutant Ninja Turtles? Do you think that's how he's going to get off? He's going to claim to be crazy?
Yeah. I did it for
I did it for
Slenderman.
Slenderman. That's what Slenderman asked me to invade a country.
Well, that's
He
why
wa-
we're
he wanted
doing the
us to do
show.
it.
We're doing the show for Slenderman.
He told us to do this, to report on all these things.
I'm just a agent of Slenderman. Well, what do you think? Certified odd or certified no?
Certified nope. Hard no.
I'm gonna say certified extremely odd.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I did the wrong answer. Ask me again.
Do you think that this is certified odd or not, Nathan?
It's certified odd for sure.
Certified extremely odd.
Yeah. Certified stupid. That's what I'll say.
Certified crazy. All right, do you want to move on? You want to take the next one?
Yeah. I don't even remember this one. I'm going to try to open this to see what this one is. Oh, this one's interesting. This is a short. Okay, let's do this one, Jamie. We're gonna do this Poison Beach. And still tight. We could go right into the Strange Bubbles after, because it's both in LA. It's both LA Ocean, so we could maybe do that after, I guess. But here, I'll give you a little starting clip. Tom, have you been swimming in Malibu lately?
I have not.
Well, don't go anytime soon, because if you do, you might walk out instead of looking like David Hasselhoff when you leave that water. You're going to look like that toxic Avenger, because apparently the beaches in LA are toxic. There's toxic waste literally in the ocean in barrels off the coast of Southern California. And it's been there for a very long time, and the barrels are breaking down.
Before we get into this case, didn't you swim in? Didn't you jump into Long Beach Harbor a couple of years ago, which is one of the most heavily polluted waterways in the United States anyway? And now you're finding out that there's toxic waste barrels floating around in there?
You mean Long Beach Harbor, the port of Los Angeles, the busiest port in all of America,
and
maybe
you
the
jumped in
world,
there
with the biggest boats ever and the biggest gasoline oil machines floating around the water. Yeah, I jumped into that because one of our fans and subscribers, Kyrie, donated $500 while we were sitting at a restaurant doing a live stream. Said, if you jump in the ocean right now, I'll give you $500. It's words, couldn't even finish typing the words. I already had my clothes off, and I jumped over the railing from the restaurant right into the water.
I will also, to set that up, you were also drunk, and you got down into your underwear in the middle of this parking lot.
I didn't want to ruin my clothes.
It was like instantaneous. It was like people around everywhere, and it was just Kyrie saying, "Jump into harbor, 500," and you were just like, "Okay."
Instantly.
And you just jump.
I'll say this: the alcohol didn't even matter though, because that's something sober to do anyway. I would do literally that. If someone gave $500 right now, I will go down into the ocean and film myself and upload it right now to YouTube. If someone wants me to jump in the ocean,
can somebody give Nathan $500 right now, and then he'll do whatever it is he's talking about?
I will. I'll jump in. I'll go to Long Beach and I'll jump in the harbor again. Literally, no joke. But yes, I did.
Toxic waste.
That was one of the times.
Harbor,
that was when I first was attempting alcohol. But now I do not do that anymore. So I jump in there sober. But here, let's find out the details of this story.
I have a confession. I did not know that 12 miles off the coast of Los Angeles, near Catalina Island, are all these barrels just sitting on the ocean floor. What is in these barrels, you ask? Scientists tested the sediment that was in these barrels, and they came back positive with very high concentrations of DDT, a pesticide that was banned in the 70s. At first, scientists thought that there were just about 50 barrels or so, but after an extensive ocean mapping led by biology and earth professor David Valentine in conjunction with Scripps Institute of Oceanography, they found more than 25,000 barrels scattered across the seafloor near Catalina Island, with a contamination site
They're cracked open. They're cracked
larger than
open.
the size of San Francisco. That number shocked the research team and possibly explained the wildly high occurrence of cancer in sea lions in that area. But what are 25,000 barrels of DDT doing off the coast of LA? Well, first of all, the fact that barrels of DDT exist on the California seafloor is not a secret. What was news to everyone was finding thousands of these high-density DDT barrels outside of the documented dumping sites. DDT was widely used from the 40s all the way to the 70s as a pesticide, but it was banned because it was linked to cancer in both animals and humans and also posed an environmental threat to existing ecosystems. Some of these barrels are 70 years old, which means the chemicals aren't breaking down the way scientists back then thought they would.
Growths
And
that
surprise,
are coming off
surprise,
those
Southern California.
Those growths coming off those barrels do not look natural and organic. They're like neon yellow, green.
I mean, it's like The Simpsons and like Blinky the fish.
Yeah, literally. That's what I was gonna say. Like, don't eat. If you guys eat fish, don't eat fish that comes from Southern California.
I mean, they already say that like fish, like seafood in general is like, it's all heavily polluted now.
Because the ocean is just a dumping ground. The whole
I
planet.
mean, yeah, and it's only gotten worse in the last like 100 years since. I mean, like think about like since World War II, like a lot of the like, especially after World War II, a lot of our toxic waste and even like ships and aircraft and stuff like that, rather than like disassemble a lot of that stuff, they just sunk it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like,
messed up.
it'd be like, oh, time to just sink all of this stuff. And
don't know where else to put it.
Well, I think that like at that time, a lot of scientists probably didn't know the true ramifications of all of that stuff.
I'm sure
but
they didn't.
I think they also didn't really care.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ocean is so heavy. I'm not surprised to hear this. I'm surprised we haven't found it sooner.
Do we want to rest? I guess. Yeah, let's keep it.
Production
Let's
in the
keep it going, I
U.S.
guess.
And the main manufacturer was Montrose Chemical Corporation in Torrance, California. Before DDT was banned, Montrose dumped 2,000 barrels a month of chemical waste, including DDT, off the coast of LA. What's even worse is that some employees poked holes into the barrels so that they sink faster. You know what they say, work fast, not safe. The barrels are now disintegrating. And once that process starts, it's hard to contain DDT from seeping into the environment and the marine food web. This will not harm any swimmers or surfers since DDT does not dissolve in water. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for fish or other marine life, which ultimately do make its way up into the human food chain.
Yeah.
This points to a bigger issue that our oceans are heavily contaminated, yet largely unmonitored. So if you ever wonder what people mean when they say a forever chemical, you're looking at one right now. For more science, we're
Pretty insane. It's nice. It's at least a consolation to hear, okay, DDT won't harm us if we're swimming in there, but you still don't want animals to have to suffer that, and you also don't
But then
want
it's also
the fish to get to the people.
right.
You know,
It's
they're
also
gonna
like
eat it.
that. Right. Then if you eat fish, it's going to contaminate that. Like it's the same thing as like, this is why people got mad cow disease is that like whatever that illness didn't affect humans directly or whatever at the time, or it did affect us, but like people were getting it from contaminated animals and it was from contaminated feed, I think at the time. But like, and humans weren't eating the feed, but they were eating the cows and then they were
Yeah.
getting the illness from the cows. This is like, yeah, it's like you can eat the fish, but then you're going to develop some sort of like crazy cancer after.
Yep.
It's not good.
Well, Tom, what do you think? Certified odd or certified not?
I mean, this isn't really certified odd because it's like, this is, I'm, it's not surprising. I think it's certified sad
I was just gonna say certified sad. I agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Certified sadness.
We can shop that into its own little story. But then we can have a little follow up if we want, like a separate story. I'll start this one with Tom. You may remember the time I told you about all the is it DDT or DHT?
DDT.
Did she say DDT, right?
Good.
Okay, let me start that again. I like that the stream just gets to watch the rough cut of our videos now. We're just editing it live. Tom.
Yes.
You may have heard of the time the government or in companies. Sorry, that's wrong. Right? What was it? The company.
The time the government.
I sound like an idiot. I sound like Bay Marathon Definite. Tom, you might remember the story when we talked about DDT being dumped in the Los Angeles Ocean.
I do.
Well, let me tell you, that's not the only thing out to get you when you're doing some DK drop knee down the Malibu pipeline. There are also strange bubbles brewing in the Los Angeles Ocean.
What?
Yep. And
what are they?
As far as I remember, so this drone footage, I think they say it in the video. It's just, well, these bubbles are, in my opinion, certified odd if you don't watch the video. But one interesting fact about this is it's who is the guy during the pandemic? He got really popular, the comedian Bo, and then he did that movie.
Bo Burnham.
Bo Burnham. I think Bo Burnham, they say, shot this drone footage.
Oh, really?
This weird thing happening in the ocean right now. Yeah,
I wonder if
they say, but
I'm curious to see what it is. I wonder if it's like something he's like setting up.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think he heard about it
real?
and just went down there and wanted to film it.
What if Bo Burnham's a cryptid?
Bo Burnham is down there under the water, just farting, letting his farts
What
out.
if Bo Burnham's an alien? That would explain how he became so
he
popular.
got so successful so fast, and he made a whole album in like 1 week in his garage.
He made it in like a second because he's an extra dimensional being. Yep.
He was bending and warping time space around him.
Bending and warping entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Let's watch this and see what these strange bubbles are.
Welcome back to CBS LA at 8 o'clock on KCAL 9. I'm assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. There's been a mystery off of our coast down near Hermosa Beach in the South Bay. Has residents very confused about this. You see that piece of image there on your screen. It's water bubbling up just off the coast. And I want to come out to the desk here because we've actually got some more video of it. This is drone video of it provided to us by Bo Bridges. And you can see just how close it is. And it has had residents in the South.
Okay, pause.
Wait,
who's
Bo
Bridges?
Oh, wait, Bo Bridges.
Oh,
so it's not
famous
not
person,
Bo
right?
Burnham at all. Totally different person.
Burnham, but it sounds like a famous person. Why is Jamie laughing so hard? Who is that?
Because it's totally like not the same person.
It's not him at all. You just said Bo, and you just thought that was Bo Burnham.
Yeah,
but it's a famous
You just thought
Bo,
it was like
right?
the famous.
It is a famous Bo. Yeah, it's Jeff Bridges' brother.
That's a famous guy.
It is a famous guy, but it's not Bo Burnham. It's Bo Bridges. It's a totally different guy.
Same thing.
It's not. They're about 50. There's about a 50-year. There's about a 50-year age difference between the two of them. But regardless, it is a famous person. It's just not Bo Burnham.
Well, that's even cooler. So the dude's brother is investigating this weird bubble conspiracy. That's pretty interesting.
Apparently, yeah.
What could be causing that? People jokingly, of course, have surmised that it's aliens or even flatulence from a whale that might be underneath, but we're getting to the bottom of what it actually is. We'll show you some more video here because I want to show you what people are seeing from the shoreline. You can be seeing all the way out there, and you can see kind of the disruption in the water that is causing all of this. This has been going on for a couple of days now, and we've gotten to the point where even people that live in Hermosa Beach have gotten on paddle boards or have swam out there to try to figure out what it is. Well, we have figured out what it is tonight with some help from the city and the contractor that is doing the work. I want to show you the other video here because SkyCal was out there today, and just off the coast, we found this boat. Now, what we know is I spoke with the contractor. These are underwater fiber lines that are being cleaned. And those underwater fiber lines that go basically from Hermosa Beach all the way across the Pacific to Asia. Now, I'm told that these high connectivity lines that run this, there is a new client, Meta, that is going to be added to this line at the beginning of next year. And so what they're doing is preparing for that to happen by cleaning out the lines. And doing so, they're shoving a bunch of air into those lines. The air comes out the other side, and then, of course, gives you that big bubble that has caused so many people some concern. Now, here's another still picture from our friend Bo.
So Facebook is doing this? Is that what we're to understand?
I guess, yeah, they're clearing, like, did they say that this was like a
Meta is adding an Ethernet cable to their
basically, yeah,
pipeline?
it's like it's crazy to think that like that is a thing. That there's like these fiber optic cables that are running clearly like clear across the ocean.
The world. Yeah,
And, like-
let's keep going. He's almost over. I have an opinion
Owns a
on
gallery
this. I
down
don't
there.
know,
Bo
I'm
and some
buying
other
this.
people have thought this was so interesting. They've actually created this. Take a look. This is a wine label. We'll show you the next slide here. This is a wine label that they're putting on a wine bottle that
Yep.
Bo will actually be selling at his gallery tomorrow, because tomorrow night they're doing the big tree lighting ceremony down in Hermosa Beach. They're partnering with a wine company. They've made this. You can see the alien, the submarine, and there is the mystery under the water there in Hermosa Beach. Tonight we now know it's just fiber lines being cleaned. Not nearly as cool as aliens, of course.
Kind of wished it was aliens.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you this. After hearing what this guy, a government paid off shill, tells
crisis
us, oh, it's
actor.
Ethernet cables. They're cleaning the cables. Nope. I'll tell you what. I think this story is certified cover up. That's what I think.
True.
What do you
That
think,
is what
Tom?
it sounds like.
You agree?
Oh
Or do you
yeah.
think certified odd, certified not?
Certified government cover up. I agree.
You heard it here first, everybody. Odd boys think they're lying to us. Not buying it.
Aren't they always though? Did they ever not lie to us?
Nope.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that this that is crazy to think that they're like running these cables. And that sounds plausible. Sure. That sounds plausible that they're clearing like the air lines so they can like run these
Yeah.
cables clear across. But that's crazy to think that there are these cables that are providing that service.
Yeah, I've seen like some of the pipes that like go from like New England or the East Coast to Europe, and it's like these big pipes with just tons of cables inside of them. It's crazy that they can do that. It would take forever. Like,
I mean, I
how
think-
do you even do that?
I mean, I think this is something that takes months or years to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty crazy. I'm sure if I saw that off the coast, I would have without any sort of like context, I would have no idea what was causing the ocean to bubble like that. So I'm sure it was pretty scary.
Yeah, it's definitely weird when you first see it. You're like, whoa, what's going? It looks like a bunch of sharks fighting like forever, you know, jostling the water up.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Certified odd right there.
certified cover up.
Well, I've got a story to this is a follow-up in a way to a story we did a couple weeks ago. Nathan,
Mm-hmm.
did you hear that a YouTuber has bought the Conjuring house amid a competition to acquire the property?
Maybe, but I don't think so. Fill me in.
All right. Well, I'm actually not too familiar with this YouTuber. Jamie might be more familiar with him. Popular YouTuber named Elton Casti he's assumed the underlying mortgage on the farmhouse made famous by the Conjuring films. But it remains unclear whether the property itself has changed hands. So there was and this is what I think Jamie and I talked about this. There was a GoFundMe. There was a bidding war going on regarding the Conjuring house,
Mhm.
and there was a GoFundMe put forward by Jason Hughes, who's one of the New England ghost hunter guys,
Yep.
from Taps. He wanted to acquire the house because he was afraid that I think he was specifically afraid that Elton Casti and the comedian Matt Rife were going to acquire the Conjuring house. They just acquired the Warrens Museum, and he was afraid that they were going to acquire the Conjuring house as well, and turn it into like an Airbnb and like disrespect the property. So he had a GoFundMe so that he could buy the property in the hopes of like preserving it, not turning it into like an Airbnb, like treating it with respect. But in the bidding war, the YouTuber Elton Casti, who I believe is associated with Matt Rife, is the one who acquired the property. And looking at it now, um, Jason Hawes from Ghost Hunters, he raised in his bid, he managed to raise $317,941. And that was what he was going to use. And I'm sure he was going to put his own money in too.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to buy the property so that he would be the one responsible for it, but he lost that bidding war. And now it looks like Elton Casti is the owner.
That's interesting. I never heard of this guy. I just looked him up. He's got almost a million Instagram followers.
He's
He
pretty
does
popular,
do
yeah.
ghost hunting stuff. So he looks like someone who wouldn't look, based on the images of his face and the faces he makes, he does not seem to look like the person who would respect ghosts and ancient things. But who knows? Maybe he's just being goofy, but he looks kind of like a obnoxious bro a little bit. Funny bro.
And I just Googled it just to make sure. And it is Elton Casti is the person that's associated with Matt Rife. And Matt Rife is a very popular comedian who also has an interest in ghost hunting. So they just bought the Conjuring, not the Conjuring house. They just bought the Warren's Paranormal Museum and that house. And now they've bought the Conjuring house. So they are doing they're acquiring all the Infinity Stones to
Overnight,
do the
Jamie, that's his channel, I think. Overnight, it's one of his channels.
The Logan, yeah, he's like a Logan Paul. Like I think that's what makes it a little painful, is that the Matt Rife is like a kind of like a younger, just like loud, like bro comedian type guy.
This guy's channel is so cliche, like red arrow, scared face, ghost caught us this time. Like every video is the same thing.
And that group bought the Conjuring, or that group bought the Warrens Museum, and now they have bought the Conjuring house too.
I'll play a bit of a video and I'll skim through so you guys can see, I guess, what his content's like. But this is overnight.
A lot of loud yelling.
Probably.
So he's the guy with the dark facial hair, I think, is the Casti guy.
It's a lot of yelling, a lot of tonight we're staying, Mr. Beast has challenged us to stay here.
Yeah.
So this episode is the first official reveal.
Yeah,
of
that's him in the
completed
center.
Warren House Occult Museum and Barn Door Studios. This was intended to end up being an investigation with paranormal equipment. Well, it turned out none was needed. We're leaving right now, and I nearly cried at the end, and I also nearly cried at the beginning of this night from what happened.
I'm crying just watching this.
There's actually one.
I'm crying at how much money I spend for this house.
No, I think he's crying over his piles and piles of other money that he's made on his YouTube videos.
This is the most viewed bit, so let's see what this is.
So we wanted to leave that prayer there. First time revealing it, I haven't even seen it from afar yet. Evan's asleep, it's 1 a.m. But this is... Damn, dude, that's cool. Damn, dude, that's really cool.
This poster will protect us.
I know.
Yep. The ghosts are gonna show up and go, wait, let me read this first. Ah, crap. I guess we can't.
Hold on. Hold on.
Against the rules.
Before we start the investigation, I got this poster at Spencer's. We gotta recite the words.
Yep. Ghosts hate reading the rules, so they're never gonna.
Ghosts don't like
come and
words.
show up. Nope.
Yeah, ghost. That's the most powerful. A lot of people make the mistake of using the Bible when they do an exorcism. It's actually a dictionary that ghosts are the most afraid of.
Ah, they don't want to hear the hard facts.
No.
Crazy.
I mean, I shouldn't judge the guy based on images of him. He probably does love ghost investigating, and maybe he's respectful on his searches, but
yeah, he seems fine. I think what made me a little, maybe not disappointed, is
when you
the
hear
right word.
YouTuber bought an ancient place, you don't think, oh, good.
And
know.
it did seem like genuinely Jason Hawes, the guy from Ghost Hunters or like Taps or whatever it was, he seemed to have like a genuine like he didn't want to like I think that's the difference where it's like those guys, Matt Rife and this guy, they're going to like right now the Warrens house, they're Airbnb-ing it. And that's
Mm.
what the Taps guy didn't want to happen. So he was like, I want to buy the property to make sure it doesn't become like a tourist destination
Yeah.
because he was like, he's like, I think that there are genuinely dark spirits here, and I don't want people to go here.
Yeah.
And these guys are like, they bought it, and now they're like, we're gonna turn it into an Airbnb. We're gonna make 500
Yeah.
YouTube
They're just
videos
gonna get
here.
richer from this.
Right. So I think it is a little disappointing to hear that the GoFundMe was not successful, and the paranormal investigator was not able to acquire the property. However, I hope that they're respectful to I hope that the buyer is respectful to the property and that they don't just turn it into an Airbnb, but it seems like they're going to YouTubeify it.
Yeah. They're gonna just use it as like their filming base. They're gonna
Right.
shoot a lot of videos in there, get their money's worth, which is fine if it's just them shooting videos in it. That's not so bad.
Well,
But
no, the Warrens house, which they also bought, they turned it into an Airbnb.
oh, these same guys bought the Warrens house.
Yeah, it's a comedian and a YouTuber,
Oh,
and like they're acquiring all of these properties because I do think that they're probably genuinely interested in the paranormal. However, they are also interested in making money. So
oh,
they're like the Warrens Museum. I think Jamie and I looked it up. I think it was like $2,000 a night to stay there, and it was like, this is okay. They're charging $2,000 a night to stay at this
that's
place.
stupid. That's just dumb. That's clearly them. Just that's a cash grab. They're getting money just because they know
Right.
they can.
You know
Right.
what that
Well,
means? You
they're
guys have got to reach out to them and stay the night with them. Maybe they'll let you do it for free.
Oh yeah. Hey, we're fellow investigators with an enormous following.
You suddenly,
you
you
should
suddenly
let us
like
stay
them
here.
now. Yeah, you're best friends.
Yeah. These guys are pretty cool.
I don't like I totally see what they're doing. I don't necessarily totally agree with it, but I do think that like they're spending all this money to buy. I also do think the counterpoint, the other side of it, is if they didn't buy the property, somebody else would. Who knows what the other person would do to it? And their point is they're just trying to make their money back,
Mm,
which is also fair. But hey, I'm glad that somebody's keeping the property as is. So
yeah. As long as they don't
that's
change it,
good.
that's the main thing. They don't alter it because that's what would want. Just don't physically change it.
Mhm.
Leave it as is.
Well, what do you think? Is this certified odd or certified cha-ching?
Certified, not interested.
All right. Well, do you want to take the last one? We'll do one more tonight.
Okay, sure. Let's see here. What we got? What do we got? Oh, we got a good amount. This, that, we did that, we did that. We did that. Well, this is a lot, maybe a little bit. Well, gosh, we have so many.
Not enough.
Did we talk about that one?
We should
talked about
probably
teddy
delete
bear
the
thing
ones
already.
that we've already talked about. So that
That way down bottom, we talked about those. Let's do this then. This is what's interesting to me. I haven't watched it though, so we'll have to watch this together. I'll just intro it, I guess. But Jamie, it's the exorcism one.
They're on the rise.
Yeah, that one. Tom,
Mhm.
what would you say is on the rise nowadays? Besides the price of eggs?
I would say what is on the rise.
It's besides our views and our following.
Oh yeah. Besides that, uh, things.
Things? Well, you'd be right, because one of those things is exorcisms. The rise in exorcisms is is great. Let me say that again.
Things are
There's
things are looking up in the
things are
exorcism
looking
market.
up. There is a major rise in exorcisms in the United States lately. So, people being haunted
Great.
and people being possessed.
Why is there do we have supporting evidence of this? Why
Supporting
is there a
evidence
rise?
is priests showing up to houses to exorcise the demons. We
What
got
is the
a video we can look at
Do you mean
that
yeah,
tells us
do you
more.
mean exercising like more people are going to the gym?
Nope, they are not. The demons are not watching Infinite Body, my new exercise program on the Nathan YouTube channel.
Oh,
Everyone watch it.
I hope everybody watched that.
I hope you all do too. Another episode is coming. Episode 1 is out. Richard Simmons has passed the baton to me, and I'm getting everyone moving. But the demons are not some of the people that are moving, well, at least as far as I know. But it seems that exorcisms, maybe people's superstition in this type of activity is on the rise, and that's why there's exorcisms. Or maybe there are actual demonic possessions happening, and there are people out there trying to combat that. Let's watch the video and find out.
It can't possibly have anything to do with the rise of religious fanaticism with the current administration.
You be the judge.
You got it, Donald.
Okay. Oh,
This is long, so we might want to we'll just jump around and feel it out, I guess.
I had reached desperation in my life countless times before. I had tried in the past to take my life. Like I just was broken, and there was a spirit who had such a strong hold on me.
Go in the name of Jesus Christ. Come out of her.
The spirit was a demon.
Go. Come out of Abby.
No!
Go. Leave her all the way.
See, demons come into trauma. They come into the trauma in your life.
Go. Go.
I was beaten up as a child.
Go.
This is what she's describing.
I like
is just
the micro. I like them.
post-traumatic stress.
I love them shoving the microphone in her face.
Oh yeah, listen, ma'am, are you screaming? We need to hear that. Don't scream on microphone. There's cross on her forehead and the microphone in her face. Like that is
as a child.
That is a freaking. And that's an image that says a lot of things. Basically, that is like, we gotta hey lady, we're gonna exorcise the demons, but we gotta monetize it.
We need the
Gotta
content.
record it. We need the content. Come on, everybody, roll.
We'll have to fight all this.
I mean, we can dissect this psychologically, even though we're not, psychologists. But I do feel already, based on what I'm seeing, is people taking their post-traumatic stress or their troubles in their other lives and twisting it into, oh, it's a demon. So then they feel they can then control it, exercise it, and get it out of them without actually addressing what is actually wrong.
I mean, a lot of if you go through history, a lot of things that would have been considered like demonic possession requiring exorcism in years past was just mental illness.
Yeah.
And we didn't understand, scientists, psychologists, doctors, they didn't understand that this person needed therapy, this person needed medication. They thought
therapy. That's what I was gonna say. That one woman, it sounds like she went through something and it doesn't want to admit it to herself or address it. So it's rearing its ugly head, and it's coming out in the image of a demon. You know what I mean? But it's really her stepdad was horrible to her or something.
Right. It's I think that things like this, which is I do think that there is a if you believe something enough, I think you can manifest it. But I think that most of these cases, let's just say for the sake of saying it, some of these cases are real. I think that most of them, it's mental illness that needs to be treated by a doctor.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
It's a Friday night in Phoenix. And here I am, walking into a place I never thought I'd find myself. Over several months, we keep coming back to Arizona.
Come on, first. Come on, first.
Home to one of the fastest growing Catholic dioceses in the country. Here, we also find
There we
family
go.
churches, a hotel conference room, even a garage, all used, as believers see it, to expel demons. What we're witnessing here, some call deliverances, others call exorcisms.
It's a whole setup.
They can look different across different Christian denominations, and at times can be controversial.
This is where we
It's
have
crazy
the
this happens
healing
in
for the
2025.
children's deliverance.
Even carried
But I think
out
it's
on
the
very
nature of like the current state of the United States. Like there's been a regression. Like I don't know if you've been paying attention to a lot like that, but I do think that there's a correlation here between this and the current state of the United States. Like there has been like a regression where
Mhm.
it's like a lot of particularly people on the right, the conservative movement, a
Mhm.
lot of uh, very diehard Catholic and Christian people, or people getting into those religious movements, they're like regressing, and I think that like they're going into like these beliefs as being like, oh no, I'm not going to treat this with like by
Logic
saying
or
it's like
science.
logic or science. I need to treat this by going to church and
Because there
like
is, I understand, like, maybe, I mean, there's infinite reasons. You never know why someone is doing something. But like, I, as a person who grew up Catholic, my parents are very Catholic. I went to CCD, did it all. I do see there's comforts in believing in something else and surrendering yourself to something and then going, it's not up to me. I don't have the power. It relieves you of the stress of decision making, of responsibility. And it's like, oh, it's in God's hands. And that is like a whole way of thinking that makes life easier in a way. So that might have a lot to do with this too. And then, you know, with the movement of the country, it's like that would that president be like using that crowd to get elected and manipulating them. They are now on the rise because they're in the forefront. People start hearing about, like, you hear more about Christianity and Catholic stuff now because of that president. Like, I didn't really, I mean, I guess it's like it is it's in the a, a spotlight at the moment because of the elections and politics, for sure, because Republicans are jumping on religious people as their base to then get ahead in their careers. So I think in doing so, people who maybe weren't religious are now joining because they're hearing about it all the time everywhere. So yeah, I think
yeah.
it is on the rise, and therefore it's sort of making people, in a way, I don't want to say dumber, but they're making people like think less, and they're just looking to other means to make their decisions and help them get through life.
Well, I also think that they're in control of the media right now. And it's like a
Yeah,
lot of people like I'm sure you do too. I know plenty of people that like they have parents and like a lot of older people, like people are getting older too, and I think when you get older you look towards the end. And I think that a lot of, especially older people, but also people our age too, like a lot of people our age are like parents now, and like they're sudden like
yeah,
I'm noticing a lot of people in their 30s and 40s are now like way more religious than like they used to be, and like they're looking at all of this because they're questioning like because there's so many negative things going on in life and things that they don't understand, and them
mhm,
not understanding is pushing them more towards things like religion, because it's like what you're saying, they find safety, they find comfort, they find answers. And I
yeah,
think that sadly, the current climate of the United States like really tells them, yes, this is how you should think. And then all of that media that they consume, because like we know people that probably watch Fox News all the time now, and like or like whatever, like they watch all of those type of news
they
programs.
watch Odd Boys and they believe that aliens are here and they're all
True,
gonna be
true,
abducted.
true. But I do think that that these things are running parallel with each other, where it's like rise of exorcisms. Also, people are becoming more religious, people are becoming more conservative, they're retreating back to
Rise
like
in
these.
racism, rise in
But
hate crimes.
yeah, rise in hate crimes, like all of these awful, like they're like people like LGBT people's rights are being stripped away.
Yeah.
Like people of color, their rights are being stripped away. Like we're giving all of this money to like kind of like blank military apparatuses that are just operating on United States soil and like allowed to do whatever they want. And like meanwhile, people are like, the world is crazy, so they're retreating into things like religion because they're like, oh well, like I've heard things from people, like people are genuinely serious about this, where it's like it's this big circular logic where like they go, they argue with you, you prove them wrong. They go, well, Jesus is going to take away all of our pain anyway, and I'm going to heaven. And like, so it's like
Yeah.
this
It's
big,
like,
like, it just doesn't
I
matter.
don't
They're
want to
just
have
going
this
to,
conversation anymore. Yeah.
I don't want to,
I can't be wrong.
yeah, I can't be wrong. We're all going to heaven anyway. And like, who cares? Life sucks. We're going to die. We're all going to heaven anyway. And that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
Be like, you don't want your life to be better now?
Yeah. Well, that's a way they don't have to try hard here because they don't want to try hard here.
They don't
It's
have,
just,
as
leave me
long
alone.
as,
Let me eat my steak and watch my football.
as
That's
long
like
as,
the American way.
as long as they go to, Yadab, thank you for,
Oh, and that.
thank you, Yadab, thank you.
Thank you very much for the donation.
But yeah, like I've had these conversations with people and I'm like, you can't argue with somebody. You can't argue with somebody who doesn't want to argue. And like,
Yeah.
it's the whole circular, like they start to argue, you prove them wrong and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But then they go, well, they're like, rapture, Jesus, heaven. And you're like, okay, so you don't care about anything.
No. They just want to believe what they want to believe, whether they and like it's like, I mean, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole here, but it's like flat earthers. They know it's not real. They just like it. They just want to believe in it. I
makes
can't
them
prove
feel
that God
better.
is real. I just like it. Please stop talking to me about this. Don't question. Don't rock the boat, please. That's basically it.
I will say as well to add
ride.
to it that younger people are becoming more religious, I believe, on statistics that have come out recently.
Really?
I believe
more
it.
Gen Z have become more religious, and my personal thoughts on that is due to the fact that every single party that has been in office has made the country sorry, suddenly don't have a throat anymore, have suddenly made the country far worse no matter who they vote in. So there is a sense of hopelessness in younger people, and I think with that hopelessness and despair of where their future is going, I think turning to religious things is where they've gone as the only sign of some kind of hope in a very bleak world. And also when I've looked into it, it's a bit different to what you guys have said, because you guys are talking about older people and how they're acting right now, which I think is also a thing.
Can I
But-
interject really quick?
Well, no,
Jamie,
because
and
I'll
just
finish
say-
this thing before you say anything else. That the reason they're doing it is not as religious. They're not doing it the religious way older people are. It's more spiritually, I guess, is what they identify. So they don't
Okay.
go to church every Sunday. They're not calling in these exorcists. They're more of just taking on the idea of religion in a different approach.
In like
to
a
it, I think.
self-help way.
Yeah, I think it's that for younger
Self-care.
people, which is a
Yeah,
little
that
bit
would make
different.
sense for young people because young people are all about like taking care of yourself and like it's okay, love thyself and all that.
Yeah, whether that's good or bad is obviously up for debate, but I think
It's
that's
still bringing them to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing.
Yeah, it's still an issue, I think, with considering what religion is. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, I think I'm a logical person. I try to look at all things. I goof around and joke around about aliens and stuff. I hope stuff like that is real. But I also grew up Catholic and religious, and I get it, and I think it's a nice thought. It also does sound like a sci-fi novel when you think about any religion. Now that when you learn the rules of the universe and physics and science and the earth. But I will say we also don't know anything as humans. Who knows what's going on out there? If there's other dimensions, realms, existences, who knows if there's something that we call heaven, but it is actually like another realm. I do like to have a very open mind. It sounds crazy and I almost contradict the way I act and think normally by saying that, but I do think there is a lot going on we don't understand. So I get why someone would want to believe in a God or a heaven, because it is nice to think this isn't just it and then it all goes black someday. That just sounds sad. And maybe if that is what it is, then that's what it is. But I would like there to be something else because it would be cool to experience more things beyond this. So who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to knock anyone for believing what they believe is what I'm trying to say. But at the same time,
yeah.
I hope people try to think pragmatically and logically and scientifically.
I think believe what you want. Also, I was going to say, Jamie, this is something for you. Jamie, how can we be hopeless when there's Taco Bell?
That is true. That is true.
Think about it.
Case closed.
Case
Got me
closed.
there.
Rubber stamp it.
I don't think we have to watch this whole thing because I think it's just 9 minutes of showing us people moaning and groaning with crucifixes on their forehead. I think we've kind of said our piece on it.
Well, I think what I was going to say also, just to, in case anybody feels
Jamie,
like
but we
singled
could
out.
watch it muted while Tom says this.
Yeah. I was going to say, just so nobody feels or if people feel singled out, I think if you're religious and you want to believe in whatever you want to believe in, that's fine. I'm not singling out anybody. My issue with the current way is there's a lot of closed-mindedness from religious people. And what's the
True.
saying?
That's very true.
They're saying that what's that saying? There's no love like Christian hate, because so many people that, and I think it's largely because of like the current state of affairs. There's so much like vile, like awful things that supposedly religious people are saying. Like, if you ever want to see like what a lot of these like what I'm talking about specifically, if you go in somewhere like Twitter and there's somebody, it's 99.9% of the time or 100% of the time, anytime somebody says something absolutely vile, like worst thing you could possibly write ever, and they put it out to the world to see, it's always like, it's like they'll put out some like anti-LGBT message, and it's like the worst possible thing you could possibly put out there. You look at their bio, it always says like Psalms 39:9,
Yeah, that
loving
does
mother,
happen a lot.
loving mother, like loving Christian mom. And it's 100% of the time. And they will
Yeah.
say the most vile, evil things that I've ever, and I'm like, wow, I'm like, this is
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, so here's my parents who are Catholic and are nice, good people. Even they've addressed like there some religion does get a bad rap. I think specifically as far as because this is what I hear about a lot. I'm sure all religions can get a bad rap. Christianity and Catholicism can get a bad rap from the bad eggs because the bad eggs are they're stinkier and they are no more noticeable and they get more attention. So yes, all the vocal minority or whatever that are out there yelling and saying stuff aren't a good rep for a religion, because those crazy ones do often use religion as like their way of being racist. It's their excuse to be racist or whatever. They justify it through their religion somehow, which isn't the true beliefs of the religion and a lot of the other people of that said religion. But I don't disagree with you, because a lot of times on my Instagram, when I get like racist comments or just many sexist comments from like white dudes, always says like Jesus
super
something,
religious.
and then they have a
Yeah.
picture of them with a gun. For some reason, religious people love guns and hating other people, but that is such a contradiction to what religion
so weird.
is. It's supposed to love everyone. Like, what are you doing?
I said 99.9, but like I anytime I see any of the like nastiest, most negative comments, it's always somebody who's like ultra vocally religious in their profile. And I'm like, what? I'm like, do you not see the irony of like,
This is not what Jesus wants you to say, you idiot.
right? It's so crazy. It's always
Yeah.
like that too.
It's just the bad ones are allowed. Yeah, there is just a weird section of people in there, you know.
There's
But
a fun
what are you
fact
gonna
about that
do?
as well with religion. Do you guys remember the Fantastic Daily video I made years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I included this in the video itself, but when he was harassed by people when they found out his story was a fictional story, he actually looked into the people who were specifically attacking him and going after him, and it was older religious women. Specifically,
So
that
they
was
fell
the
for
one
it. It must be like
going
a
after.
gullible crowd.
Maybe. Potentially, but
I think it was
that was the
mad about it.
statistics he was mostly coming across. A lot of older
It was
women
people with like
who were very
well, it was like
religious.
those are like yappy too much time on their hands, like housewives type religious people. It's like
That's interesting.
so crazy,
Well, I
so
guess that
weird.
kind of explains itself in a way because, like, not that you can fall for religion, but like you believe in a fantastic idea. You are someone that might just be like swept away with, like, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of religious people were also flat earthers were also religious, because
Yeah.
you want to believe in something different. So they see this guy's videos and they believe it to be real, although he did do a good job of that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. This story turned into a psychological analysis.
I was just
Not
pointing
just
out,
I thought this cool that there's
yeah.
demons out there and people needed to get them out, but
I
it
just
turns
think
out
that
there's not really demons out there. I
yeah,
guess the demons are in their head,
I
their
think these are
beliefs.
people, but like I think that there's so many things we could talk about here. It's like we don't know a lot about these people specifically, but it's like I think a lot of these people go to the church because it could offer them free help. And I think that we have a severe mental health crisis in the United States. We have a severe healthcare crisis in the United States. People can't afford healthcare anymore. The
Mm.
ACA is about to drop, like the subsidies haven't been renewed. So we're going to see an absolute
The whole
avalanche of
country's gonna go nuts. Like
yes,
if you were
like
just gonna snap.
but like I think that this speaks to that where it's like I do think in the 1970s and the 1980s, uh going into the 1990s, I think that healthcare was more affordable. I think that it was more available. And I think that we started to see more people getting treatments and we started to see more people get help that they needed. And I think things that could have been considered a little barbaric, like I think that mass exorcisms, I also think, yeah, maybe there could be a place for like legitimate Catholic exorcisms when warranted, that could actually be
Yeah.
helpful. But I also think that this could also have to do with the fact that I'm sure that a lot of these people that are receiving these treatments, these exorcisms, are people that can't afford the mental health care that they
Yeah.
probably require.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, that I wouldn't be surprised if that's a good percent of the people. They just need to be able to talk to a therapist about what's going on in their
They need
head. They come here to this
medication, a
place that's
therapist.
offering help. They'll take what they can get.
Right, and they're going to this place that's just like, you pay your tithe, you put your money in the collection plate, and you go to this church, and this preacher's gonna put his hand on your head, and he's gonna say Hail Marys on you, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna be cured. You're gonna be cured of
I
all
mean,
your demons. You're fine now.
and it's not gonna solve the problem they're really having. That's just gonna come back. But when they start getting sad about what happened to them in their past, but they will at least in the moment think they'll believe it. They'll be like, "Oh, that helped. Good now." It's just gonna be like a little mental band-aid,
Right,
basically.
exactly. They'll feel better for the moment. But like, like we know people that have had like you and I know people who've like suffered from like bipolar disorder and I know people that have had schizophrenia and like those people when they're having like these are like it's very sad, but like when somebody is suffering from like an actual psychiatric disorder and they're not receiving the help that they need,
Mm,
it's gonna manifest in a very extreme way sometimes, and, like,
yeah,
there's people that need help, and, like, our country is failing them, like, we're not
yeah.
providing them with access to things that they need.
I wanted to respond to "be good" in the chat. I'm not saying any specific religion. I say I'm just Catholics falling out of my mouth as I speak because I grew up Catholic and I've seen a lot of. I shouldn't even say Catholic because I think technically what I've seen on the news and all these kind of like more wild, loudmouthed people who say negative, rude, horrible things are Christian or
It
identifying as
it
Christian,
it it it
but
it's it's Christianity that is, like,
but be good is saying
tends to be
a
more
lot. It's a lot of
hateful.
Protestants. I don't Protestant, Christian, Catholic, whatever. I don't know. I don't know who it is, but I just think religious people tend that can sometimes tend to be racist, angry, violent, and ignorant. So I'm not blaming any religion at all. It's just people they find their religion they like, and then they use it to make excuses for their bad behavior.
One
So
question I
yeah.
want to
Just
bring
be
up while we're on this topic,
be
because there
nice.
was a news thing that came out recently. I don't know how edited this might have been or structured, but there was a trend on the Ticket of Talks where a woman called, I think, multiple churches asking for baby formula. And to see if they would give it to her, because you talked about free stuff, and this is what reminded me of the trend. They called about 40 churches, and all of them said no, and they called one mosque, and they said yes. In fact, they actually said you don't even have to be Muslim or support the religion, and it exploded on TikTok. And there was actually a couple of parts where they continued to do it, and they named the churches that they called so people could know about it. But it was.
So these churches aren't even actually trying to help people. It's all a front. They're just there to make money and get donations.
There's a lot of churches like that, but
it's almost like these churches are just using their tax exempt status to make billions of dollars and tax-free money, and they're actually highly corrupt.
Yeah.
So weird.
There was a genuine clip. This was it got so big that someone from the UK decided to do it as well, and a lot of churches weren't calling her, but the mosque one that she called actually said he was going to pay out of his pocket, and she said she couldn't even make it from the bus, so he said he was going to deliver it himself out of pocket, saying that because he was told that the husband wasn't there, so he was willing to do that, whereas the churches had turned her down.
So a Muslim religion tends to be the more genuine and
I will
generous.
point out I don't know if these were edited or if they were, but there were multiple videos of different people.
You never know it nowadays.
There wasn't just one person; multiple people started doing this, so maybe there is something there. But that's always to take it with a grain of salt. But I found that very interesting that they even named the places that they called and stuff, and it seemed to show the very differences. Because I don't know if mosques are funded the same way as other churches, so it showed you how one very funded area seemed to be rejecting this stuff, whereas the other one that doesn't even get the same kind of funding was willing to go out of their way for it.
One of them was just literally practicing more of what it was preaching.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even go to any religious establishment for help like that. I would go to like a women's shelter or some other type of organization to people who are not associated with a religion would probably be more willing to help some other organization.
I think
Salvation Army, honestly, even would probably be more willing to help. Well, I guess that is a religious organization.
It's still a religious, has a religious
or
affiliation.
Goodwill or something. Like Goodwill, maybe.
Goodwill is super corrupt. Don't want to go.
Oh, is it? Okay, they're all corrupt. I guess who knows who to trust anymore?
Goodwill is actually not everybody knows this.
They're for profit, right?
They're a for-profit company. So it's like they masquerade as like a Goodwill does do some good things, and they do have good programs that they like, job placement programs and like work training programs and stuff like that. However, they are also a for-profit company that they take all the good stuff and they put it on like eBay and they put it online. And they also their CEO makes $10 million a year. And it's like they're not as virtuous as they would put themselves out to be.
And I think a lot of people just think, oh, it's like Salvation Army, same thing, and that you don't really look into it. You just donate your stuff.
Right. So, it's a for-profit. Like Goodwill specifically is a for-profit company.
It's like Savers. Savers is probably for profit too, I would imagine.
Is Savers a thrift type place as well?
Yeah. We used to go down there in Rhode Island.
Yeah, so same sort of thing.
Yeah. Man. Well, be good. I'm suggesting to a woman who needs baby formula to go to a woman's shelter. That's where I would go if I was that woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well,
or like some other Planned Parenthood, someone that can tell you where to go.
Well, I think I think that's a pretty good story. I think that's a pretty good story to leave this episode off on.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can get a caller next week. Maybe we get someone to call in, tell us a weird, odd story.
I think
Anyone
I'm glad you're feeling better. By the way, I know. Nathan
I had a major fever this week.
I was worried you weren't going to make the show. You sounded like you were pretty sick.
I was very sick for it spanned about 48 hours. I sweated out super bad one night, and then the next morning I just woke up feeling like, okay, I got through it. I literally exorcised the demons. I soaked my clothes. But yeah, I had a very high fever, and I felt I was having those hallucination dreams, weird hallucination thoughts, fever dream kind of things, and
Yeah.
just felt horrible. So
What do you think you had? Think you had
I
the
have
flu
no
or
idea.
something?
It was about 24 hours, like the real less than that. It was probably like 18 hours of like the real sickness when I was like, okay, I'm definitely sick. And
Did you
then
get down with the sickness?
I did get down with sickness, and then I got
Did
it
you
out of
did you
me.
sing that song while you were doing
I
it?
went, "Wah!"
No, 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 no.
Yeah. And that's what got it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was sick this week, and I don't think it was a flu, wasn't COVID, so I don't know. I just
I
got
mean,
sick.
it is that time of year, and also as I said to you offline, Katie does work with the children, and the
Yeah,
children
that's the
are
thing. And
often the
Katie
ones.
never gets sick, so maybe like I got it through her, but it didn't
I
affect her.
you know, it's like I think I told you this. Uh Katie is probably immune from working with the children for so long, and you, like I and Jamie, are an internet man, and you have computer bones, and you just like whatever germ she probably gave you, you have like no immunity to it, and you just died.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. But I did fight it off pretty quick because of my extreme health, my health regimen, my
If
vitamin
I
intake.
if I had received that illness, I would have died.
Yeah, you be no more.
I
You
probably
better hope Alba never becomes a nanny.
I don't think she will be.
Okay, good.
She did work. She did work with kids for a while.
Yeah, I
She
remember.
she she had all sorts of in her past lives before she started to utilize her degree. She worked as a nanny. She's done all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I should lick more doorknobs, Dren.
did I ever tell you about the time that I was working at a coffee shop and some kid did lick a doorknob?
In the coffee shop?
It was in LA, and it was like it was at the shop that I worked in 2019, and I looked over, and I was working. I think the guy's name that I was working with, I think his name was Nick, and like we looked over, and this woman came in. She came in like every day. It was probably like a neighborhood lady where she like came in on her walk to get like her coffee with her kid,
Yeah.
and her kid was probably like 5 or 6, and she came in to get her coffee, and I don't even remember what her name was, but it was like, you know, those customers that come in often enough that you're like, oh, hey, what's up? Small coffee? And just her being like, yeah, just getting my coffee. And
Yeah.
her kid was just outside, and we were like all looking at him, and he was just like out there licking the doorknob. And we were
Like an
like,
ice cream cone.
well, he's just licking it. And this was like right when COVID started. So we were like we were
You
all like,
got a dose.
yeah, we were all just like, and like she was just like, she's like, get away from the door, get away from the door. But that is why children are the carriers.
Yeah. They're licking doorknobs.
They're like literally, it's the only time I've ever seen that. Literally, like probably like a 6-year-old kid just out there licking the doorknob.
He's
He
just
prob
he's just learning the world. He's learning his surroundings. He's
This was
educating
like
himself.
right when COVID was like starting too. So he probably was like, I'm the carrier. Like I
Yeah,
can't
you
think of
want to
any
go to
other
school.
I can't think of any other reason why a kid would be doing that other than I don't know.
He was probably possessed.
I think he was probably I think he needed Jesus.
Needed an exorcism. Someone should
needed
call
an
that right
exorcism.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh. Ay, ay, ay. Well, that kid is gonna be the head of health services in the government someday. Like our
Yep.
current RFK. He's probably licked doorknobs all the time when he was a kid. He's eating dead bears off the side of the road.
I mean, that was like 5 years
Got
ago. So
worms in his brain.
that was like 5 years ago. So that kid's probably in charge of the government now.
Yeah. Wouldn't be
Probably
surprised.
like the head of the RNC.
Yep. Same thing.
Probably.
What we got,
Yeah.
same thing we got now. We gotta stop talking about politics. Otherwise, we gotta just start the odd politics channel.
Well, we're gonna have the whole network. So for I saw Yanep say odd boys another day. We're gonna have odd drama, odd politics, odd boys the main
gaming.
show. Yeah, odd gaming. We're gonna do every day. There's gonna be a new we're gonna be the new network.
We're
This
gonna
is
do it all.
Yeah, we're just gonna do everything. No, we won't actually do that, but
No, we won't.
we'll have this one show 1 day a week for now, and then if the show
Well,
what
Tom,
are?
my contract's running up. I think we only have 4 weeks. Remember, I said I was going to do this till the end of the year.
Oh yeah, Nathan.
So
Oh yeah,
we
Nathan.
we have to do a marathon stream, and maybe we determine if you and Jamie are firing me, replacing me, or if I'm quitting, or if I'm staying on.
Oh, we're already replacing you with Bob.
Bob, just gonna sit here and go, shut up.
You're the dumb.
You're stupid.
He's gonna be doing the Bob. This is gonna be like.
He'll just be like this over here, facing this way, playing Call of Duty on another monitor, not listening to you.
Well, yeah, we have. So, what is the amount of subs that we have to hit to renew your contract?
Well, let's see. We checked last time we checked. We had 51 members on YouTube. What do we have on Ko-fi? Apparently, it's how it's said, not Ko-fi.
We have not gained any additional members on Ko-fi.
We get a new one tonight.
That was just a renew.
Oh, a resub.
That was a renew. We have on members. How do I check how many members we have?
I'm checking YouTube members now.
I'll check the.
Oh, we went up since the stream. We had 51, I think. Now we have 58 members on YouTube. I wanted to try to hit another 222, which I don't know if it's possible if we do another.
We have 8
stream.
I think it's the same. Thank you for the 8 Ko-fi members. Those are. I think Eshen's was a resub. So every month we have the 8s, and they're on different days. But we have 8 Ko-fi, and then whatever we have on YouTube.
I mean, we're close to 69 members on YouTube. We need like 10 more members. That's actually more than I thought.
So if let's say we have a marathon towards the end of the year, let's throw it out there. If we have a marathon towards the end of the year, if we get to 222, can we renew your contract for another, say, 6 months?
Yes. Because has this been 6 months that we've been doing this channel now?
No, it's been like no, it's been like since
August. Right, let me scroll back to see.
It's been like since August, but then we started on your channel. But
we did start on my channel.
But then we came over here. I think it's been about since like taking it seriously. I think it's been 2 to 3 months.
September 15th was the first test stream over here.
And then
how many weeks did we do that on mine?
Like a month, maybe. So like I think.
So we'll say mid-August. It was the end of the summer. I do remember.
So maybe 5 months or so.
Yeah. So if we make it to the end of the year, we'll say 5 months. If we make it to my birthday, February 2nd, then we've done 6 months. Then we finish January. So if we do this until I'm 45, that's a 6-month test. I think by the end of the year, if we have 222 subs or YouTube members, or maybe we could get a Ko-fi goal. We try to get because we earn more money on the Ko-fi memberships. We get it all.
True.
YouTube doesn't take 100% from us on the Ko-fis.
Ko-fi takes a very small 0 to 5% platform processing fee, which is a lot less than YouTube.
If anyone out there has $5 and he wants to help, if you want to help us, Ko-fi is the way to do it, and it appears on screen here. You keep the show running. But either one, if people just can support, that would help a lot. It'll keep the show going. I think we should do another marathon because that was really fun when we did the 24 hours of just odd news and odd
I thought we were
stuff.
gonna do it. I thought we were gonna do it last week, and then you had an audition. You disappeared.
That was, I know. And oh my God, Katie.
New tip from Katie.
Oh, I just got so nervous. I thought today was Monday.
Katie Katie tipped us.
And she tipped us.
Hey, Katie tipped us. I don't know what Katie should be. Thank you for it. Wait, Katie, I have an idea, Katie. If Katie's listening.
My fiance just gave us a tip. Don't do that, Katie. Save your money.
No, this is a very serious thing. I have an idea. If Katie's listening, this is like a summoning. Katie, we need you to get Nathan's credit card and then tip us $20,000, and then James.
You wouldn't work. You would bounce.
It might work.
It won't work.
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Katie. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Much.
Thank you.
I was gonna say I have a callback for that audition that the other day that I had. Didn't expect to get a callback.
Oh, that was that shit
on Monday.
Oh, that was Eshen's first Ko-Fi sub. Oh, so we must have lost one, and then Eshen replaced.
Oh, Eshen replaced whoever we lost. Thank you, Eshen, for joining on Ko-Fi. And
Thanks,
thank you
Eshen.
to the 58 YouTube members that we still have. It'd be fun to do another 24-hour marathon. And if we can hit 222, that'll be a good final push for the end of the year to keep the channel afloat, earn a little bit of money. Now we're splitting it 3 ways. The show is running much better and smoother and
Jamie,
cleaner and more
can
professional
can the
because
chat-
of Jamie, our producer. Thank you, Jamie. Can we all thank Jamie?
Can the chat please thank Jamie? Jamie is so. Let's be real. Nathan and I were not editing the best of clips, and Jamie is much better.
Also,
at it,
I was
think, than
running
we
the
are.
show, cutting around
Yeah,
while
it's just-
hosting the show with Tom.
It was too
Jamie,
much.
on his own
It's so much
volition,
easier.
volunteered and just like, I'll help. And he's doing such a better job than we ever were. And we don't deserve him. And he has no reason to even be doing this. It's 5 a.m. for him in England right now. And here he is helping the show with 0 views. So we all owe Jamie a major thanks.
The show looks
we appreciate you doing this for us, Jamie.
The show looks much better thanks to Jamie. So
But now that we're paying him, the lion's share of 33% out of he's getting his 33 is just like a shinier 33%. So since we're giving that to him, we need to get our members back up.
I will say that, and I don't think Jamie knows this, but I will say it. I need to figure out a different way to send him the money, because when I send him the money, I have to pay a processing fee.
Oh, I also have never paid him what I was supposed to pay him a month ago.
Oh, you got to do that.
Yeah,
If you
Joey,
figure out
I
a
owe
better
you
way to
money,
do it.
Jamie.
So when I send him the money, it like does like, there's like a fee to convert it to British pounds. So it actually cost me money to send him money.
Did you send it on PayPal? Where did you send this again? I forgot.
I sent it on PayPal. Yeah, it charged me like a $4
Like a
fee because
conversion
it
fee?
like converts
That
it to
should
like
be-
British pounds or something.
Might just be a hit we have to take.
Maybe.
I'll have a
it
look
wasn't
into
a lot.
it,
It was.
but-
It was.
Just mail him cash bills in an envelope.
Oh yeah. How much
I'll
do
have a
you?
look.
Oh,
Maybe it's
I don't
worth
even
just
remember.
doing it.
You didn't pay Jamie the money you owe him.
Nope, not yet.
Well, 2 things. I guess one, we might look at like the wire transfer and things. Maybe there's less fees on there. But the other thing I was going to say, I actually think that would be an interesting thing for Odd Boys if we all have contracts. So we have to hit a goal every 6 months for the channel to continue. That's a thing we can aim for. And then because let's say we're under a corporation, and in order to keep our contracts running, we have to hit a goal every 6 months.
I mean, technically, Nathan is a corporation.
There you go. Yeah.
The fire department. I am incorporated.
But maybe that's what we do.
you-
Maybe that's how we encourage the continuation of the show.
I think
Is
that
we need our contracts renewed.
I think we should, just like a television network. I think that the Fart Department Inc.
Yeah.
should have like a contract that if we don't hit certain member goals,
You're
and,
fired.
you just
We're all
company
fired.
dissolves.
All 3 of us are fired, and the
I
Odd
fire
Boys is no
myself.
more. Yeah. Yeah, you fire
we all-
yourself. You didn't hit quota.
I think that, that's a good idea.
I like it.
I think that'd be a good
audience,
one.
The audience fires us, and then they just look at the channel with nothing in front of it.
It's just a couple of
Just
chairs.
an
It's
empty
like,
channel.
just a couple of chairs sitting
The
here.
stream keeps going, but no one's here.
There you go.
Eventually, it's just Bob.
Yeah, Bob just like wanders in. What the heck is this? Yeah. All
Well,
right.
I'm all for it.
We'll do another marathon. We'll try to see if we can get some excitement back on the channel. We'll keep the shorts going, and hopefully we just keep growing. We're getting more subscribers, so that's cool. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the new,
Well,
I
new
think
people. Thanks for being here.
when
Silent
we
watchers.
do the marathon stream as well, which I'll find the days I'm free to do it as well. We will have a go at, I think, a short TikTok stream to test it out.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that.
I will do it on the marathon stream because we'll do a segment where we dual stream, where we do the stream on YouTube and do it on TikTok.
Jamie, let me ask you this. Nathan knows about this too. If we'd have to hit it beforehand because there'd be like a little bit of a buy-in for it. But I had that idea and I gave it to Jamie and Jamie liked it. Because I've seen it on Twitch. Is the walking streams? We could do that as the marathon on Odd Boys. Basically, people would
On
donate.
treadmills.
You get the walking pads that cost like $80, $90, and every donation would keep us walking for like X
Yeah.
amount of time.
I already did the 24-hour dancing. My foot, literally 2
You
of my
think your foot
toes
would
are
be
numb
too
and
busted?
still have never come back. I don't have the feeling in them ever since the 24-hour dancing. I did something to my foot. So I don't know if I want to do the
I think
walking.
we
Thing.
can-
I'd do something else. I'd honestly rather do like push-ups, like a push-up every member or something.
I think we aim for the thing of the marathon stream where we get our stuff. We'll try find some callers. We'll try find obviously news, and then I think as well. I think we go down the route of we need to renew our contracts. So we got to hit a
Yeah.
goal.
We should try to
and do.
yeah, we can get some guests on. I know that like Jim's back. Well, I'm sure that Jim would probably be
I
on.
think
There's
we
some other
try
people
getting
who'd probably
Expo
be
as
on.
well.
Is
I
he
think we'll do
back?
that.
I messaged him a while
Yeah,
ago. I
Jim's
never heard back from him.
Jim, I talked to him on Discord the other day. Jim is back.
Tell him
Everybody,
we'd love to have him on.
Welcome back, Night Docs. Night Docs is
he making a new video?
He is making a new video. I've seen the first half of it.
Oh, that's cool.
It's an interesting case, but yeah, Night Docs is he did a live stream the other day.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
he's like slowly coming back. But I did talk to him online recently, like 2 days ago, and asked him if he wanted to do something, and he said he was down. So
That's cool.
yeah, we should do something with him soon.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right, well, I guess I'll see you guys later.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. I'll probably be live this weekend. Jamie will be live on Sunday. What do you have coming up? Nathan, you have your new dance video. Are you doing any lives?
I would like to do. I had a really fun time when I finished. Oh, I should say this. I haven't really said it on a stream in a while, but I did raise the final bit of money for the Dad movie. In case anyone didn't know, I finished it last Indiegogo. Total between the two, I should have $50,000 now after fees. So thank you, everyone. And then the end of that, my final push to get that 50,000. I did a 12-hour Minecraft stream on Saturday, and then I did a 12-hour World of Warcraft stream on Sunday. This was a week or two ago, and it was so much fun. I was like, I want to do that again.
You're back.
I want so bad to do like a full Saturday Minecraft, full Sunday Warcraft. I had a fun time, and I miss it. So I might do that in the future just for myself, just for fun, to maybe get some members, and maybe we could push attention over to here on Odd Boys. But other than that, no, I just have my dance show. I hope everyone watches Infinite Body on the Nathan channel. If you haven't watched it, it's my version of a Richard Simmons aerobic dance show. It's music that I like, doing my weird moves. My giant friend Bob is on the show as one of the dancers. And then some people I don't know, some random people I hired to just come on and dance. Some normal everybody's dancing along with
Were
me.
these Craigslist people?
2 of them were, yes.
Hell yeah. I was wondering if for anybody
I'm gonna
wondering,
get some more unique characters too. I want to get some like real good
a lot of
characters
a lot
off
of
the
the
internet.
better acters from Nathan's videos were from Craigslist. If anybody,
Yeah, a lot of like the Ray Amsley videos, Keith Apicary, Trail Luaus.
That was like
videos with like 70-year-old men. Those were people
right,
from Craigslist.
Right, that was like you will earn $25 and free pizza if you would be in this video and meet me at this location.
Yep. I'm going to get some of those types of characters on the dance show for sure. But yeah, Infinite Body, I'll be doing more episodes. As just like we do over here, I'm trying to get support on my Nathan Patreon to fund that show because I'm just paying for the whole thing myself. I'm paying to shoot it in a studio. There's a full crew that shoots and records and does audio. I have a mic person miking me up. And
I already gave you my idea if you shoot the show in Portland.
Oh yeah, I know. Tom will be on it too if I do shoot it in Portland.
Oh, I have a great idea for my character.
Yeah, dead man laying on the ground.
No. I told you that I wanted my character just to be a guy who like I just live on the set. And
I'm
like wandering around
in bathrobe.
I'm like wandering around in a bathrobe, like making sandwiches and stuff, just like wandering around,
drinking coffee, staring at us in his pajamas.
Yeah, what's going on here? I think it'd be super funny just to be like wandering around, just be like, who's this guy?
I would like it to be more of an elaborate set where there were pieces and areas where something like that could happen. Right now, it's just kind of like a white space.
I like the idea of never addressing it, just like a guy.
Oh
who,
yeah,
like,
you
lives on the
can't.
set.
You have to let people notice it and go like, what? But anyway, well, when Jamie comes to Portland and we all live up there and we do this show professionally, we can all then produce Infinite Body as our second show.
Jamie's moving here soon.
Let's
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah,
After
like,
all this talk about America falling apart, I don't think Jamie's looking forward to coming here.
well, it doesn't have to be an American.
Yeah, but he has to come to America.
Yeah, but he's British. American people love British people. He'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I guess we'll just hide him in our basement and no one will know. They will leave him alone.
Yeah, that was the sleepiest. Let's go. Yeah, let's let Jamie be free.
Yeah, Jamie's
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, sure. Oh yeah, it's 6 a.m. for Jamie. We should let him go.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next Friday.
See you then. Please watch the shorts and the videos. Thanks for being here. Bye.